live welcome you all to the 6th week, the round 16 of LBFF Season 7. Nice to have you guys over here to start this great weekend of some amazing games here on LBFF, and I am your captain for the afternoon, Marcelo Ferrantini, and by my side, my co-pilot Isa is always here to bring you guys. She's back. She was not here on Monday, but she's back, and it's great to have you back here, Isa, to bring the guys more 3 days of amazing Free Fire.
Yes, I missed you and I missed you guys, and of course I am so excited to start off this brand new week in the LBFF, especially because we have just reached 60 matches in the championship, so it's going to be very important because we are at a spot inside of the championship that we need to see more of the teams that are not doing well, and of course we are seeing the games evolving each time more, and I am so excited to see how it's going to go today.
And you know what happens today? Since we have 24 rounds, I mean, it's not today because we don't have 24, we have 29 rounds, but what happens this week? We are going to reach 2/3 of the competition. My microphone is not in my mouth. I'm talking like a madman, and probably no one is listening. But we reach 2/3 of the competition ending this week. So we're getting to a point where the teams are starting right now to know what they will need to do and know where they will fight. Because there will be only 9 more rounds coming after this week, 3 more weeks after this one. And it's time for the teams to wake up and go for their goals, which can be taking the championship, which can be going for the finals, going away from relegation. Everything can happen.
Yes, and of course those are very interesting statistics because we have the championship. When we say that it's time to wake up, we really mean that it is over the time to wake up. The teams really need to go to their place in the standings, because if they don't, they won't have any more time to do it. We know a lot of teams in the past splits that really left to do what they needed to do in the last couple of weeks of the championship, and it never goes well. It never ends well. So it really is a time that is important for all teams to reach their goals and to work even harder, which will make our championship much more interesting.
And of course, you guys are invited to join this discussion. Who will be fighting? Where the teams will be fighting in our standings? At FF Esports BR, follow us at FF Esports BR, follow me at Marcelo Ferrantini, follow Isa at Isa13X, and join our discussions, because we also need to know which players will be bringing their teams ahead. And if you guys want to bet on which players will be taking their teams ahead, join us at ffesquads.com.br, because Isa, you're still doing really good.
Yes, I am, as always, doing very well, and I have a strategy for my FF squad, which is always betting on 2 players from 2 teams that don't usually go well, like teams that are on the bottom of the standings, and then I kind of save money because they have their worth very underrated because they are not doing so well in the championship. So I save money, and I always cast 2 players from bottom teams and 2 players that are really that I'm really able to count on, that I know they're gonna play well. So that's my strategy for FF Squad, and I would like to know yours. So if you guys do cast FF Squad, tell me what your strategy is, and if you don't, you're really missing it out.
And of course, her 2 players that she always counts on is Hender and Easy. We know that. We always know that.
Yeah.
And we got to check out where is BD Vasco on our standings, because Hender and Easy are playing for BD Vasco, and the standings will be on the screen and will help us see what we were discussing to start the broadcast. We have the fight for the top here today with Magic Squad and Fluxo going at it, and then we have the second block with BD Vasco, Corinthians, Los Grandes, and Metagaming trying to join that fight for the top. We have Garunidas, Loud Tropa fighting for the top 12, fighting to be inside of the finals classification zone, And then we have the fight against relegation with Real Esports, 0-0 Nation, and Liberty.
Yes, and of course, those standings are very interesting because we have not only Fluxo that needs to make the difference between them and Magic Squad as small as they can, but we have something that I think it's the most interesting for us to analyze today, that is Loud and Tropa playing. And Loud and Tropa are two teams that have made their own area inside of the standings. They have made a spot for them that they are equally as far away from the bottom and as far away from the top. Team Liquid has about 40 to 50 points of advantage from them, and of course the team that follows them in the bottom side also has a lot of disadvantage towards them. So Loud and Tropa are competing directly for the 12th spot in the finals because they have so much difference between the teams that are around them. So we are going to need to see which one of those teams is going to do better, not only today but throughout this week, because the team that does better will guarantee their spot in the finals. Not guarantee because we are not in the ending of the first phase, but of course they are going to guarantee an advantage towards the finals, and they will also maybe be able to try to go to the first part, to the first half of the standings, which is very important as well.
But a team that is doing really well throughout the whole 5 weeks that we've had up until right now is Magic Squad. We gotta say,
yes,
the leaders are doing amazingly, and they are newcomers to Serie A as a team, not as players, but as a team they are newcomers to the Serie A. And of course there is someone who is really the main mind, the mastermind behind all that, and we gotta check out what the coach from Magic Squad has to say.
Essa regularidade, mano, eu fui campeão mantendo esse mesmo ritmo, essa mesma determinação em ser regular em todas as rodadas, e isso me trouxe o ser campeão. Então foi algo que eu adotei como coach. Eu consigo alternar meus jogadores, tenho 6 jogadores hoje, e eu consigo fazer isso com uma grande facilidade. Com a qualidade que os jogadores têm, o entrosamento vem à tona. Minha equipe, ela tem o segundo líder de abates, e de colocação a gente é o primeiro. Então se a gente leva pra cabeça em que o posicionamento nos traz a agressividade, nos traz a kill, porque nem todas as kills do jogo é porque você rushou. Muitas das vezes é papada, ou sei lá, você aproveita uma trocação.
Mas vem Magic Squad, daquele jeito quente, acertou a primeira, gol de kill! Salve! Derrubou o primeiro, pato, Ave Maria!
Pra falar do Bobs, é um dos caras que eu trabalhei, mais inteligente que eu já vi, ele tem uma facilidade absurda de aprender. E sobre a categoria do Free Fire, daquele FF Squad que vocês tanto falam, escalam, é tipo relativo. Ele tá toda semana lá porque ele tem um desempenho bom.
Olha o Bobs, vai arriscar que ele lança pra cima do seu adversário, olha o lança do Bobs! Maravilhoso, Bobs!
A Magic Squad é o time que mais pontua em purgatório. A gente não tem uma estratégia específica, é mais os jogadores. Aquele jogador que gosta mais de jogar o determinado mapa, sabe? As calls, favorece? Favorece sim, é óbvio. Mas o jogador em si, eles têm aquelas preferências de gostar mais um mapa, gostar mais outro. E é isso aí. Vamos, tamo junto, gol, Magic Squad. É nóis.
Go Magic Squad, as looking set, a former champion here in LBFF, a man who knows about all the secrets for this championship, and a man who is bringing Magic Squad to an incredible debuting season.
Yes, of course, Magic Squad is probably the team that most surprised us in the season, and they are doing so well inside of the standings. But of course, they are not alone in the fight for the leadership, and if Magic Squad does not watch out for their bags, they are going to be passed by not only Fluxo, but tomorrow we are going to have Before playing, and Before is doing also amazingly well. But of course, we need to congratulate Magic Squad on their good performance, especially because they have such a wide casting of the squad. So I think that is one of the main reasons why they are doing so well. And we are going to start off with Purgatory as always, which is, as Looking has said, the best map for the Magic Squad. So let's see if they're going to be able to bring those extra points to Purgatory.
That is indeed their best map, and the map they are the best in the season. Not only their best map, but they rule over Purgatory throughout the season, and they do really well in this confrontation with groups B and C. It's a point where the team we have such an aggressive confrontation between those two groups, and Magic Squad thrives in aggressive situations. They defend really well, and they are really good rushing, with Bops being the second player with the most kills on the season, the second player with the most assists in the season, and the fourth player with the most takedowns in the season. This shows how Bops is growing in this squad. He left Corinthians last season. He was playing for Corinthians last season, and he was overshadowed by Ousado. But now he is the main man for this Magic squad, and he is holding on to that position really well.
Yes, of course, Bobs has the chance right now to make the difference smaller between him and Cias, because Cias is going to be also playing here today. And we are looking forward to see Cias getting to 100 kills. And we are going to check out soon the kill leaders rankings, so we are going to be able to see how all of those players are doing. But we know that Bobs is in the second position. But by the end of the day, I am hoping that we get some serious changes on those rankings.
And it's really possible. We have some of the guys that will be playing here today on the top of the kill leaders list, and we gotta shout out the chat. The guys that are always here with us. I'm sorry, I just kicked you. Rahul Singh saying I look like Rocky Bai. Shout out to Rocky Bai. As always. Amir Arman Ahmed saying he's always here. Thank you for being here with us. Vinny Tatkari also here. YG Esports saying hi, Marcel and Isa. Sam
hi.
FF saying hi as well. Gentleman Gaming saying love from Bangladesh. We see Fluxo Leozinho saying pra cima deles in Portuguese. Let's go trample them. Go Fluxo. Uday Chaudhuri over here saying he's from India. Welcome Uday. Over here Luiz Henrique saying vai Corinthians. Saying go Corinthians. Parth Dartakar also here with us. Ma'ao also here with us. Jefferson Moraes, Wang Edits. Brain Gaming saying they're here. J Deep also over here, and those guys are making our passengers list and already boarding our cabin because we're clear to take off. So let's hit the skies, ladies and gentlemen, from the flight R16D1 heading straight to Purgatory. This is your captain Marcelo Ferrantini, and by my side my co-pilot Isa invites you to loosen your seatbelts, fasten your boards, because it's time to drop, Isa!
And here we have our very first map of the day. We are once again in Purgatory, and we see Metagaming going towards their Call of Ski Lodge. All of the teams are making that their position. Of course, right now we kind of missed the beginning of the season when we had a lot of teams fighting for drop calls, fighting for rotations. But right now we are going to have a very easy start in the map of Purgatory. So let's see, Magic Squad also getting the blue zone in Forge that they have said. Actually, Lukingi has said in the video that we just watched about how their drop call in Forge, especially in this confrontation, really makes into a better performance, because it is a good drop call. It favors them inside of the championship, inside of the match. So let's see how Magic Squad is going to be able to do now.
We see that they are going for the blue zone, as you pointed out, in Forge. It's a usual drop call for the Magic Squad, and they got lucky to start the day with the blue zone. We see got kill over there, and now we see that Liberty is once again getting into trouble they shouldn't get, going for the Fire Brigade, a place where they usually fight Real over there, and they are now trying to trample Antunes. Antunes goes down, and Davi gets the kill, gets the takedown. And it's important to talk about Liberty a lot as well this week, because they are having... They come from 2 weeks of a real development, of real improvement in their gameplay. And if we keep seeing that from Liberty, we might see a team that will fight not only to go out of the relegation zone as they already did, they pushed Netshoes Miners in, but they will start fighting to be away from the Access group list.
Yes, and of course it is important to point out that Real and Liberty are two teams that are in the Access group of the standings, and it is important if they want to get the spot in the finals, and of course they do, because all the teams do. We need to see a reaction out of both of those teams as soon as possible. We are reaching the end of the first phase of the championship, and the time is getting shorter and shorter, so we need to see a better performance of Real, of Liberty, Liberty, of Zero Zero Nation, all of those teams that are placed in the Access group really need to do better right now, because if they don't, it's going to get too late.
And there we see the region of Brasilia, usually taken by Los Grandes, by God Unidas. When before is playing, we know that before will be also there. A key region here in Purgatory, and if the safe zone does not throw, a really strong region here in Purgatory.
Yes, yes. And as we usually see, the safe zones have been going towards a more different pattern, for so to speak, because we have seen safe zones that are kind of the ones that we are accustomed to here in the championship, and some safe zones that are completely out of the blue. But Los Grandes is already taking some hits at Zero Zero Nation that is making their usual rotation. Zero Zero Nation usually does take over that quarry over fields, and they really like that position. But when they are in this specific confrontation, Los Grandes always goes up in that hill. So it is always a conflict area between those two teams, and we have seen in the past rounds a third team coming along and getting towards the back of those teams and trying and making into a three-way fight. And we have a lot of fights towards that area, especially in the beginning of the beginning of the map, actually.
And we see Zero Zero Nation with a change here in the starting lineup. 1-9 being back on the starting lineup, and he was missed by the Zero Zero Nation squad, right?
Yes, 1-9 is a very strong player. And look, we are talking about him, and he just took down Foam, Los Grandes support player. So let's see if they are going to pursue that fight. But look, the third team has arrived, and it is Metagaming just getting to the region of fields. They are always kind of sniffing off these kinds of conflicts. And of course, there's another team that might come along, that is Magic Squad. So if any of the teams pursue this fight, it's gonna go crazy around here.
And it seems that this will be the last safe zone for the game, or the next safe zone, because the teams are rotating to that region. Shoutouts to Mananjoshi over here. Shoutouts to RG Kripan also here, always here with us. Get the vision. Ousado from Fluxo is the player with the most headshots in LB7. 111 headshots for Ousado, a really strong player rushing for this Fluxo squad. Shoutouts to Nitin Dingra saying, I look like Marcelo Ferrantini, the best caster from Brazil. I do look like him. He's an amazing guy. Love him. Raul Singh saying he likes my dialogue when I say booyah at the end of the matches. Isa hates it because I almost leave her deaf.
Yes, but I kind of try and close my ears, which is impossible, but my ears kind of flinch whenever Marcelo yells his booyah, but that's okay. I know you guys like it, and I like it too, but it's better when you're watching from the broadcast than when you're by his side.
When you can lower the volume.
Yes. And you're not wearing headphones with his voice at 1,000 in volume, but okay.
RG Gripan says he feels sorry for you. But now we have the players from Metagaming near the campsite, and we thought that Metagaming could join that fight with Zero Zero Nation and with Los Grandes. And we got to talk about Metagaming because it is a team that was formed this season. A full change in that squad. Only Kawe remained from last season. And they are still going really strong. Coach Altman is doing an amazing job for that squad. And those guys seem to be fitting. Even when Mamute is playing or when Rafa X is playing, they seem to be fitting together.
Yes, and of course, Metagaming, even though they had such a surprising and such a good outcome this season, they have just come from their worst week in the championship yet. Last week was really bad for Metagaming that wasn't able to fit in their usual game, but right now let's see if they have come with a new attitude. They had the whole week to practice, to maybe encounter the mistakes that they made last week, and of course we are expecting to see the Metagaming that we are getting used to see this season, that is a metagaming that is aggressive, that does well, that is always in the end games, and we have seen some really good stuff out of those guys, so I'm hoping to see that again.
Deep Rock saying lots of love from India. Shout outs to our beloved India as well. And there we see BT Vasco now scouting the players from Metagaming. And we have Jeffão, no Bruce father. Jeffão apelão over here saying, let's wake up. It's Fluxus Day in LBFF. Leilson Winchester saying nothing less than 3 booyahs from Loud and lost to be the kill leader for the day.
Yes.
Senora, the so-called carrot here saying, good morning. We have Los Grandes on LBFF today. Kawane, do 2-9. Kawane from 2-9 saying, let's go for one more day of LBFF, and then the confrontation is going on. Metagaming going after Vasco. One player down aside. We see Hender trying to find the grenades onto Eric, but he was too fast. And Kawe now puts Leno to sleep, but Easy brings it back. Now it's a 2v2 fight while Metagaming tries to come over, but look at Hender and Leno getting the shots with the charge buster and getting the players down. Vasco now wipes out Metagaming, and they start the way they finished last week on the last position.
An amazing rush from Black Dragons Vasco. And look, all 4 players are using the charge busters. So that is how we see when a weapon is really in the meta of the game, because we are seeing the charge buster being used by all 4 players. They were able to take this rush very fastly, and even though 3 players were knocked down, they were able to take it kind of easily because we saw it going really fast. And of course, Hender taking 2 kills. Hender, that is a player that we always see here in the LBFF being a highlight, really standing out. So good, nice start off for Black Dragons Vasco that has already 4 points in kills.
And a player that came to Serie A with high expectations onto him because he was the MVP from Serie B, and with such an incredible domination on Serie B, and he is delivering it on Serie A. Now we see Real fighting Liberty, the 2 teams that are fighting against relegation. Isa just choked on water right now, and she is almost dying. I gotta help my friend. But now we see Tatu rotating and going after Davi. He tries to get the kill. He gets the takedown, but Drizzy and Pexin brings it back. Now there's only Triple X to fight, while Drizzy comes over and gets with the grenade. 5 kills for Liberty, and they get the squad wipe onto Real. Those 5 kills all came on the players from Real. They got Antunes on the beginning of the match, and now the squad wipe to take Real away from the match with no points, Isa.
Yes, and of course, this is a very important fight because those are 2 teams that are fighting in the Access group. And look, one more team coming along, that is Tropa. They're probably just going to observe and try to knock one player down to possibly make a rush, but...
Or maybe hold the door onto the safe zone.
Yes, that is a very good, strong possibility as well. And look, Laude and Los Grandes right now, a fight of also 2 very big teams. Oh, that car is not gonna pass.
The first one went through, but the second one with Noda and Kronos will not go, will not pass. You shall not pass! And now Los Grandes is trying to split the players from Loud, and maybe they will force Kawan and Lost to come back. But the grenades onto Kronos will deal a lot of damage, and Noda will try to hold on the ice, but Kronos puts Juan to the floor, gets the first takedown, and Cebolinha will bring it back for Los Grandes. 1 kill aside as we see Kawan and Lost indeed coming back for the fight. Now it will be a 3v2 because Fon went to the floor. Now he's back up on his feet, and 0-0 Nation is also joining that battle. Los Grandes was maybe too eager in this fight against Loud, in this personal fight against Loud, and now they are in a real predicament right now. We see Kawan joining Lost. They will take away, they will take off to maybe bring back Kronos and Oda in a healing post, in a vending machine, and Lost will get some shots onto the players from 0-0 Nation as well. He will get a kill for Loud onto the players of 0-0 Nation. And it seems that this will become right now the source of the war here, Isa.
Yes, 0-0 Nation had to look to so many different sides that they basically weren't able to focus on only one of the squads that were making their rotation. Of course, they lost Honey, but they picked up a kill, and we have Los Grandes and Loud having a really hard time in this beginning of the match.
Guaranitas losing 2 players. It seems that the attack from Los Grandes was the Franz Ferdinand of this war. They started the First World War here in Purgatory, and we've seen more teams coming down as 0-0 Nation is trying to control the region, and Tropa is holding on. Liberty will stay outside as we thought they could do, holding the door on the safe zone and forcing Liberty to fight from the outside. Tropa gets the squad wipe onto Liberty, and now they will have to deal with the Magic squad by their sides. We see Moreira rotating. He is trying to find the best spot for this fight, and he will go with his Groza for this fight. Now we see tThe and Moreira flanking the players from Magic Squad. The leaders are trying to get some more kills. God Kill will put easy to the floor as Vasco is nearing that region as well, and Bops with the grenade puts Moreira down. Now it's an advantageous fight for Magic Squad. Not anymore. Mandela and tThe did it, putting 2 players down from the Magic Squad and forcing them to retreat. Now we see Tropa going down on the hands of Corinthians, while Bops uses the scythe.
Bops, his grenade launcher.
Yeah, he has a grenade launcher and he has the opportunity to go for the kills, but they will have to deal with Corinthians and Vasco holding the door for them on the safe zone. We see that Easy, Leno, Chucky, and Hender are preparing to go for the best positioning. They are the team that is still alive with the most points and the most kills in the matchup, followed by 0-0 Nation, and they have a good positioning. Loud is trying to enter the safe zone through the north, but they will have to deal with 0-0 Nation. Now, this fight will go on as LBFF tries to use the grenades. And nice grenade launcher shot by Kawan, taking a lot of damage onto Dudu, forcing him to heal. And now Lost will try to go over, will try to use the ice to protect himself as Dudu rotates, tries to get to the watchtower over there, as 19 has his sights onto the players of Loud from afar. He's now trying the shots onto Lost, but he uses the ice to get some coverage, to get some space for him to rotate, as the other players from 0-0 Nation seem to not be interested in fighting from that space. They are rotating and trying to get to the players from Loud. Now we see 19 really hiding over there as Corinthians joins that battle and gets the kill on Nicholas. 0-0 Nation now with 2 players to fight, 19 and LBFF, but Lost now showed up and Kawan gets the takedown with the grenade, and 0-0 Nation will go down on the 5th position. Nice job by Loud, keeping themselves alive. As we see Vasco still fighting against Magic Squad, we see Hender trying to get the grenades, and Magic Squad will go down for the safe zone. Now only 3 teams still alive. Corinthians with 4 players, Vasco with 3, and Loud with 2. The advantage is in the hands of Corinthians, but it seems that Vasco has the high ground advantage, which can go over the numbers advantage that Corinthians has, Isa.
Yes, and of course I would just like to really highlight how Loud has played amazingly well in keeping themselves alive. Only Lost and Kawan were able to completely wipe 0-0 Nation, of course, with some help of some other squads, but Loud really doing well for this first map.
Shots from Hender, trying to find Hazur over there, trying to find the players from Corinthians. They want to take away one of the players, but they are not aware. No, they are aware of the rotation of Loud. We see Chucky taking down Kawan. They are the new kill leaders. Vasco is leading the charge. Len will get Memgod, and now they will not have the numbers disadvantage, as Corinthians will have to stop and heal Memgod or leave him to die. It seems that Memgod will not go down, will not go up, and he will not go up. Leno gets the confirmation of the kills, and now Vasco is in a great position to try to get the shots. Gelo will put Lost to sleep as Hender now goes for the front line. He has the grenade launcher. He can go for the great shot over there. He sees Gelo rotating. He goes for the shot on Gelo, and he finds the ice. Not Gelo, but the ice. More shots coming over, and Vitinho XP puts him down. Important takedown for this Corinthians squad that now has some space to work on their rotation. We see Chucky trying to rotate, trying to go over and save the fallen player from Vasco, but Chucky will put Vitinho XP down and force Corinthians once again to retreat in this fight. One more rotation from Chucky. Hazur will get a shot, and Vasco gave away their advantage, and it's a booyah, Corinthians! They took away the advantage that Vasco had in positioning, getting some shots out on the players there that were trying to get a smart spot to fight. But it's not so smart to go out in the open against a team that has Vitinho XP and Gelo, Isa.
Yes, and of course Corinthians getting an amazing start of the day with their Booyah. And now, let's just highlight, they have Gelo. Gelo that did not play for Corinthians. This is his very first match in the whole season for Corinthians. And it is amazing that they got the Booyah, and Gelo had the biggest amount of kills inside of their squad. So very important Booyah for Corinthians, but also very important match for Black Dragons Vasco that did not go well in their last round.
20 points for Corinthians, 16 for BD Vasco, 13 for Loud.
Jill is cute.
I will not comment on that live. We'll talk about it
No,
when
I
we
mean,
go
like,
for the
his
break.
cheeks are cute.
Oh, I mean, yeah, he's cute. He's cute. He's indeed cute. He looks like a young boy. A young boy. Good game by Loud with Lost and K1 holding on to bring them to the 3rd place. Magic Squad still on their steady run with 11 points. Hender also 3 kills for him. Tropa with 10 points. 00 Nation with 9. A game that did not change a lot in our standings, Isa.
Yes, and of course, look, the direct competition between Loud and Tropa has ended up kind of the same. They had the same amount of points almost. So let's see how the second half of the punctuation is. And it is Los Grandes with 8 points, Liberty with 7. Fluxo fell really early on the hands of the gas. So we saw Fluxo trying to make a rotation out inside of the safe zone, but it was not possible for them because there were a lot of teams making the mark between the safe zone. So I really loved this match because I love those kinds of conflicts in which the safe zone is getting smaller and everyone's trying to get in, but no one can, and I love those kind of matches.
And then one fight becomes a war
and
inside of the
everyone's
safe
taking
zone.
hits and taking shots, and it's all happening at once, and that is the most thrilling thing for me inside of the matches. So I just love this first map.
We're going for a quick break and bringing you guys the next 5 maps of the day here. We'll be right back. We are back live and we gotta check the standings before we go for the next 5 maps of the day, as we have Magic Squad going for 667 points and 300 kills on their hands, Isa.
Yes, amazing mark for them. 300 kills, 300 eliminations, which is a great part of their punctuation, of course. And look, Corinthians has gone 1 spot over Vasco. So we have seen Black Dragons Vasco make a very good match in the 2nd position, but Corinthians was still able to pass them. So of course we're going to have throughout the rest of the day Corinthians and Black Dragons Vasco competing for the 4th spot, and maybe counting on a bad outcome for Fluxo, Corinthians and Black Dragons Vasco will be able to pass them and try to fight for the top 3.
Maybe the top 2, since Fluxo is only 3 points behind before. So they can be fighting for the top 2 actually. We have Los Grandes and Metagaming still trying to join that group of the teams fighting inside of the top 5. We see God Unidos, Loud and Tropa in a tough situation to get their spots in the top 12 certain. And we've seen Loud and Tropa with similar punctuations in the first map. Loud with 13, Tropa with 10 points, trying to get to Team Liquid. But it's still a 30-something point fight for them.
Yes, and of course, Real, 00 Nation, and Liberty also have very similar punctuations, which is going to make their fight a lot more interesting. But we need to see at least one of those teams standing out if at least one of them is going to get out of the Access group. And as we have been saying a lot, it is so important to get out of the Access group while they still have time, because we know that everyone wants to play in the finals, everyone wants to compete for the World Series. So let's see how they're going to do in the rest of the day, but their time is getting shorter and shorter.
And we've seen a great start from Liberty, getting Real out of the match, getting 5 kills on the players of Real. And they were trying to build onto it, but as soon as it finished, they went for Tropa, and Tropa just demolished them.
Yes, yes. And as we have seen in this past Purgatory, a lot of confrontations happening in the borders of the safe zone. A lot of teams trying to get inside of that last circle and not being able to. So I really like that kind of matches, but we are going to check out what's going to happen in Kalahari next. So let's see if Kalahari is going to be a map of more conflict in the beginning of the map, or if we're going to see really the players being able to get inside of the last couple of safe zones and being very, very crowded inside of the map.
Shoutouts to RG Gripan, also here with us, saying he hopes Fluxo will perform well in the upcoming matches. Shoutouts to Loud Heart, that is over here as well.
I wonder who they cheer to.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe Loud. I don't know. Namorada do JD Mendonça is also here with us. Deep Rocks, Bin Laden over here. Canal Deritella also here with us. And everyone that is here cheering for their squads. Tell us where you're from, because we need that for us to get you guys in the plane, because we're clear to take off. So let's hit the skies. Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight R16D5 D2 heading straight to Kalahari. This is your captain Marcel Ferrantino, and my master, my co-pilot Isa, invites you to loosen your seatbelts, fasten your boards, because it's time to drop, Isa.
And we have our first Kalahari map of the day. Of course, the pilot once again was very fair to everyone. Everyone's going to be able to get to their drop calls without any problem. And we see God Unidas taking over the refinery area. Corinthians, that just got the booyah, is right now in the command post. 00 Nation, that is a team that really needs to punctuate better inside of the standings, is right now with the blue zone. So let's see if that affects how they're going to be able to do, because they have Honey playing, and Honey is an amazing support player. So maybe he's going to get a Barret, maybe they're going to get some shots of the grenade launcher, and that's going to be very interesting for their entire game. But we right now have all of the players established and their drop calls, and we are getting more and more used to seeing those kind of calm starts in the match, and that's very interesting for everyone, right, Marcelo?
Indeed it is. But what is interesting as well is how the teams that were performing really well throughout the other weeks here in Kalahari will go for this map. We know that Magic Squad dominated the whole matchup of Purgatory, but between those two groups we have some changes in that table that will bring us to a point where Magic Squad also dominates in Kalahari. They are the best team of the week here, of the confrontation here in Kalahari, with 213 points, tied with Corinthians, but those are the two best teams in Kalahari as well. We talk a lot about Magic Squad in Purgatory, but Kalahari is theirs as well.
Yes, of course, as the leaders of the standings, they have an amazing performance in all of the maps. Bermuda is actually their worst map, but still they do well. So let's check out how Magic Squad is going to own up to that position as the current best team in Kalahari. And we also have Metagaming doing exceptionally well in Kalahari. They are a team that needs to punctuate better if they are hoping to get back in the top 5, because they were once in that position, and they need to start getting their game back, because we have been seeing them losing some of the edge that we saw from metagaming in the past week. So let's hope that we see the metagaming once again that we saw in the first couple of rounds.
They are still the third team that gets the most points in this confrontation here in Kalahari. And there are only 3 points behind Magic Squad and Corinthians, but as you said, they were dominating this map and they went down after a few bad weeks that they had here. It's time for them to maybe start to bring back that eagerness that they had in this map. They are the team with the most booyahs here in Kalahari. And 0-0 Nation, who is now trying to go after Tropa, is one of the worst teams in the map, but Tropa is below them in the charts. And now they get the first takedown. They will try to bring down the ice and put down the players. It has become already an igloo over there. And Tropa will be able to leave that region unscathed, tThe.
Yes, of course, Tropa lost a lot of resources in making that advance, because 0-0 Nation was making a perfect mark right outside of the refinery area, and we see a lot of those kinds of conflicts here in Kalahari, when one team is kind of making silently their mark and the other team is making their rotation completely out in the open, because we know Kalahari is a map that has a lot of open field. So we see a lot of that happening, and usually we see the elimination being fulfilled, but right now 0-0 Nation not being able to get the elimination on the player that they knocked down. And of course, Playground is, as always, a region of more than one team. We have Los Grandes and Loud both dividing the region of Playground, and of course we have seen a lot of fights from those teams in that exact area.
And Loud is a team that is starting to get into personal confrontations, and it seems to me that this is something that is getting them to their worst rounds that we've had here. They are going after Vasco a lot. They're going after Los Grandes a lot. It's something that I've been seeing from Loud, and maybe it's not doing really well. Kami the Best saying she's watching LBFF standing on the swimming pool, and if Corinthians gets the booyah, she jumps. You already wet right now, right? Because Corinthians jumped. Karina is a Fluxuzete. She wants Fluxo to win, but Magic Squad is doing really well. Rafa LHP saying he just came in and Corinthians got the booyah. It's really tasty this weekend.
Yes, yes. We see a lot of cheering for the teams here. But right now, we saw a very good outcome for Corinthians that started off their day with Gelo, as I have said, when they got the booyah. So interesting performance out of them with Gelo right now, because that was his first map, of course, and we are going to see if maybe, depending on the outcome for Corinthians today, we're going to be seeing more of Gelo playing for the team here in this split, and maybe trying to form a lineup for the finals. We know that Corinthians is testing a lot. We saw Zanaki coming out and Mengod coming in, so Corinthians really making tests towards their casting, and that's interesting to see how they're going to be able to apply that, especially in the finals.
Shout out to Hungry Hawk FF saying he loves you, Isa. BG for you, Phoenix. Oh, the great TPX Ray Quasar also always here with us. Spirit Gamer SG79 also here. Rahul Singh saying Vai Corinthians. He learned to say it in Portuguese. Deep Rocks also over here sending lots of hearts, and we gotta check out where the next safe zone will go to, and it goes to the region of Playground. It will leave Refinery out. God Unidas will have to come out, but Metagaming will have the most trouble because they are behind the Refinery, and they will have to cross that field all the way to the safe zone.
Yes, and of course I am expecting to see a very crowded match, because so far we have had no conflicts and we are at 7 minutes inside of the map, so that's a lot of time to no one being eliminated. No one was eliminated, no one was revived, nothing actually happened yet, which means all teams are making their paths, their rotations to get inside of the safe zone, and in the end game we're going to have so many many teams alive, and those fights that become, as Marcelo said, a world war. Everyone gets involved, and that's going to be interesting to see. Marcelo's probably going to get out of his voice.
It maybe will happen. I will have to summon my inner Fat Eminem to bring this guessing. And we already have 2 players from 0-0 Nation down, but FFX tries to bring it back. Miguel will not let him do it. He puts him down, and now 0-0 Nation has only 1 player in this fight. God steals the kill on FFX, and Gelo is on the floor as Corinthians knows that they will have to deal with not only 0-0 Nation, but God Unidas. 0-0 Nation goes down on the hands of Mike. The first team out is 0-0 Nation, a team that is fighting against relegation and that needs to perform better, even more here in Purgatorio, in Kalahariza.
Yes, 0-0 Nation getting a very unfortunate rotation because they landed in the house that Corinthians had already established position. And of course, God Unidas, that is in Refinery where they actually fell in the match. They stayed there and they made a perfect mark. So they were able to have the clear vision of this fight happening. And of course, they picked up a kill. But Corinthians stays alive in the match with 3 points for elimination. And they're going to keep this position for as long as they can. So if the safe zone favors them, Corinthians is going to do very well once again.
It's a great positioning by this Corinthians squad. They are the kill leaders after that fight against 0-0 Nation. And they are forcing the teams to come down because of the safe zone. Garonidas left the Refinery, and they are having some trouble to go downhill because they know that they will have to face Corinthians. Corinthians that usually goes to command post, now holding the door for the teams coming from the Refinery. And claps for our analysis as we have here. We are great casters indeed. And the shots are coming out. Corinthians is trying to take down the players rotating. Liberty is listening to that fight and trying to get to the players of Metagaming. They had an evolution this past few weeks, but still threatened by the fear of the relegation. Liberty is still trying to get to a good positioning on the tables as they play at the edges of the safe zones right now, and they maybe will have to fight against Fluxo. But Rizzi now going for a rotation. No, he just went under the bridge because he likes red hot chili peppers.
And the only squad that was wiped out was 0-0 Nation. So far, we have had no more trouble inside of the map, and we are reaching closer and closer to the end game. The safe zone's about to get really small. We see Metagaming using the launcher to get inside of the safe zone right over Black Dragon. Oh my god.
Maybe this fight will be insane. Let's say that maybe this fight will be insane. Metagaming might be the Franz Ferdinand of this match. Let's see if Eric rotates. They want to take down the players from Loud. Bão is using the ice, and now he forces himself out with half-X, but Noda brings the Charge Buster to put down the players from Metagaming. Now 2 players down aside. Kawan gets the first kill, the first confirmation for Loud. Now Kawe and Eric fighting for Metagaming as Loud and as Lost and Kronos and Kawan are fighting for Loud because Lost was brought back to the fight. Now Loud has the numbers advantage. Half-X was brought back also by Metagaming. It's a 3v3 fight, and they are trying to get control of that house in the playground, but Lost puts Sky to the floor. What a wipe by Loud! They take down the 3 players from Metagaming with ease with the Charge Buster, and now they're trying to hold Vasco away of that house, but now 2 players are down. Kronos and Lost goes down on the hands of Hender, and Hender will get the kill on Kronos. There is a player down for Vasco, but he was brought back. It was easy. And also Liberty coming for that fight. Los Grandes also joining as Fon gets the kill on Lost. Important position right now by the last player of Loud. He will be the one trying to keep Loud alive, and it seems to be Kawan. Let's see who is still fighting for Loud. It's Kawan indeed. We see Vasco taking control of the house, forcing Kawan to run, but he will run straight to where the players of Los Grandes are, and he's trying to buy back his teammates with his last hopes, and he brings Noda back into this match, and Noda will be flying over the players from Los Grandes. What is Noda doing? Is he trying to go with a Glock and take down the whole squad from Los Grandes? Let's see what will happen. We see Kawan inside of the house being targeted by Juan, and Noda is trying to get closer to him, and the safe zone closes to favor Loud.
Oh my god, what an interesting safe zone, because Playground has a lot of buildings, a lot of houses. So we're going to see a lot of teams establishing in those houses, and we get a lot more space for as many teams as possible to be inside of the safe zone. We are reaching towards the 5th safe zone, and we still have 10 teams alive, 38 players. So a very crowded match, as I had said before. And tThe is just chilling by the watchtower. He is really... Oh my god.
He's getting some
If Black Dragon's Vasco spots him, it's gonna be an easy kill.
He's just getting some sun. He's getting tanned. Now Fluxo is trying to hold God Unidas, and everyone actually is trying to hold God Unidas. We see Los Grandes, Liberty, and Fluxo taking some shots down, and God Unidas will go down as Marreta also goes down on the hands of the players from Fluxo. God Kill also went down, and Vasco is joining that battle as well, but now Fluxo is rotating. Fluxo is one of the best teams here in Kalahari, but Drizzy will put Japa BKR to the floor. Nice job by Liberty getting some points. No points for them still in this match, but they are trying to get the tick down, get the points, and Drizzy now will take the first point in the skill against Japa BKR. We see Pato rotating, Rosado is on the floor, Pops gets Yellow to the floor as well. Magic Squad is quietly getting to a good positioning. Fluxo will be destroyed by the hands of Los Grandes. They were harmed from behind, Isa.
I did not understand why Fluxo didn't make their advance towards only Liberty. They actually ended up opening up a spot of vision that everyone could see them. So maybe if they had gone a little bit to the left, only Liberty would take hits at them.
As Rihanna would have said, to the left, to the left. And they went
That's
not.
not Rihanna.
That's not Rihanna. That's Rihanna. Or, is it Rihanna or Beyonce?
It's Beyonce.
I don't know. I don't know my
left,
pop
to the
divas.
left.
I don't know my pop divas. I'm sorry. But we have right now Magic Squad being harmed by Tropa, and the first player goes down. It's Killadge. Tropa with a bad start for this rush as Drax holds them down, but Spill will put Bueno to sleep as Drax comes over with the Mag 7, puts Spill to sleep, and he will take down with the help of God Kill the whole Tropa. And now Magic Squad will have their 4 players to go for the end of this match, but a lot of teams are inside. Isa, bring 30 seconds of information for me to breathe an inner Eminem.
Oh my god, 7 teams alive, 24 players, and we are going towards the last safe zone. So this is gonna be really, really crazy. It's gonna be a crazy fight. We have Liberty with the grenade launcher, and they're making their advance. All teams are going to struggle in this end game, and it's gonna be a matter of who positions better. But tThe actually has the best position, and tThe might actually get the booyah if his... Oh my god, he does not have any medkits, I just remembered it. But if tThe had some medkits, he could take this match only with his medkits.
Now Eminem is summoned, and let's go for the last fight of the match. We see Hende putting Japa XL to the floor, triple kill for the players of Magic Squad as Kawan tries to rotate. He gets 2 takedowns with the grenade, and Triple X will get Chucky to the floor. Now we see Liberty rotating. They have the space to go for the fight, and they are still alive in the top 7. Another good match for Liberty to get some good points. Hender gets the kill on Japa XL, and Corinthians will go down on the hands of Los Grandes. Los Grandes is still trying to get a better positioning in the middle of the safe zone, and it will be a crowded safe zone as Triple X comes over back into this match, and he will go away as soon as he just touches the floor. Now Magic Squad has a good position and they will try to fight Vasco from afar. They are centering themselves in the safe zone, but they are being targeted by everyone in this match. 3 players from Magic Squad trying to hold this team still alive as we see tThe goes to the floor. He was forced out of the tower, but Kawan is still alive and holding out still in this match. Let's see how Drax puts down the players from Liberty. He's doing an incredible job. Gets the killing spree, gets the double kill on the player, gets the triple kill on the players over there, and now he will go for the players from Liberty and Vasco that are fighting below the house that they are in right now. We see Juan rotating. He tries to get a good positioning, and he knows that Magic Squad is above them, and they will need to fight against it. But look at Gus, really well positioned by the top of the wall, and he can surprise the players from Magic Squad. Daffy goes down on the hands of Drax. Drax is destroying the players everywhere here, and he will get the kill on Juan. Loud finally goes down on the hands of Magic Squad. Liberty also goes down. 11 kills for the Magic Squad, 7 on the hands of Drax. He's doing a miracle with that charge buster. Los Grandes goes down on the hands of Vasco, and now it's Magic Squad against Vasco. BD Vasco goes down one hand. What the hell this man did? It's a booyah! Magic Squad 9 kills for the man here in Kalahari. What an incredible game by the leaders, and what an incredible use of the Charge Buster by Draxiza.
Drax getting the ultimate kill leader for this map, and of course Magic Squad getting an amazing performance. As they are the best team in Kalahari, we'd expect nothing less, but what a crazy match. We had so many teams crumbled up in such a small safe zone, so we saw a lot of fights happening, and Magic Squad was able to really work their position well with the hooks, and they were getting on top of the ceiling and the buildings, and everything was happening so fast. And look at the highlights of the replay. We see how fast this map really was.
And Drax with 9 kills. Charge Buster is really OP right now, and he gets 9 kills. Magic Squad getting 26 points. Los Grandes staying at the end of the game and getting a huge amount of kills. They went down in the 3rd position, so they got 9 kills for themselves. Vasco with 13 fought up until the end. Loud saved by Kawan and Oda with 11 points. Liberty keeping their average there at 8 points. They got 9 on this map. Corinthians with more 8 points for them to try to keep their advantage and their climb to the top of the standings, but Vasco will take that position from them. Real with 5 points, Fluxo with only 5 points, Tropa with 3 God Unidas, 2 Metagaming with only 1 point and no points for Zero Nation, only 1 point in 2 maps for Metagaming.
Yes, of course, Metagaming still not being able to do well, but one team that's doing exceptionally well in the beginning of the day is Black Dragons Vasco, that
Indeed.
usually makes very rough starts. Black Dragons Vasco is one of those teams that we like to say that they just wake up in the end of the day, but right now they had 2 top 2s, which is an amazing regularity for their start in the day. And of course, Corinthians and Magic Squad being able to get the first Booyahs. What an amazing performance for both of those teams, for all 3 of them actually.
Actually, 3 great teams here, and we gotta check the standings to know what changed with those incredible 26 points from Magic Squad.
Oh
they are
my
now
God.
getting to 700 points, and they are now isolated, leading the league in Booyahs as well. 11 Booyahs for them. They're getting to Fluxo as the team with the most kills. A dominant performance in this first season for Magic Squad.
What Magic Squad is doing with this leadership is no joke. We saw the leadership from Fluxo being very monopolized, but what Magic Squad is doing right now is building up the advantage that Fluxo never did. So it is very important to see how well they are doing inside of the championship. And of course, Black Dragons Vasco goes past Corinthians once again with their amazing start in the day, and Loud is getting more and more points of advantage towards Tropa. So Tropa really needs to wake up, because Loud is doing better so far than them today, and they already started off the day with some advantage. So it's important to point that out.
And check out Liberty. They were a team that was in the bottom of the table for so long, and now they are only 1 point behind Zero Nation, only 14 points behind Real, and they are performing better than Zero Nation and Real right now. I really do see Liberty today getting to the 14th position. It's not impossiul to think of that.
It is not impossible. And of course, Liberty is really surprising me, because they had an outcome in the last couple of weeks actually that was increasingly better, but we saw Liberty really making some bad moves in the championship. So what Liberty is doing right now is establishing a game that is smarter, that is more aggressive, and that is in every single way better, which is something that I did not see from them in the beginning of the season.
Liberty got to a week where they almost went to the history of the worst day in the history of LBFF.
Yes, and that bad outcome for them was really definitive as their character inside of the championship. So the way that they were able to reverse that situation, for me, it's very surprising, and it is a show of a team that really does have the chances to get out of this Axis group.
Finally, they can start to breathe, and I wouldn't bet against Liberty fighting for the top 12 in the end of this season. I wouldn't bet against it. It's still something that is possible and then might be coming. Let's check out the kill leaders list, because Cia still ain't got no kills here today. Iago is not playing here today, and Bobs is trying to get closer and closer to those players.
Yes, and of course, right now we see Easy out of the kill leaders, which is something new because he usually always pops up in the kill leader rankings. And I think I'm gonna sneeze.
Let me hold this. We have Vitinho joining that list as well. If you need to sneeze, just do it. It happens. It's a natural reaction from a human being. And the kill leaders list is not longer on the screen, but Cias is trying to leave on what he built on the beginning of the season.
Yes, of course.
You swallowed the sneeze.
Yes, I kind of just pushed it back in.
I know how that is.
But right now we have Cias making a very interesting leadership with the Q leaders, even though Fluxo is coming from their worst week. Fluxo, for the last couple of, I think 3 rounds, they did not go well, and today they really have a bad outcome so far. So difficult performance for Fluxo that did not reflect on Cia's monopoly in the kill leading rankings.
And I gotta say, Fluxo might be experimenting a few things, some different rotations, but we gotta remind the guys that getting to the top of the standings on the first half of the season is really important. Before won the championship last season because of the advantage that they got being the leaders of the regular season. They won the championship onto Vivocate because of that change. And of course, we're going to check if anyone will take that standings from the top, because we're clear to take off. So let's hit the skies. Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight R16D3 heading straight to Bermuda. This is your captain Marcelo Ferrantini, and by my side, my co-pilot Isa invites you to loosen your seatbelts, fasten your boards, because it's time to drop, Isa!
And once again, we have such a democratic pilot today. I think the pilot's really being nice to all the teams because the safe zones sure aren't. So we are seeing everyone scattering around all over the map of Bermuda. So let's check out what's gonna happen, because we have had 2 maps in this day that were very slow. We saw the fights really being able to pop in the map only in the end game, so that was a different thing to see. But look, 0-0 Nation already gets the first kill on top of Real. Once again, Real and 0-0 Nation getting on conflicts really early on the match.
And once upon a time, we talked about how Real was going for a really smart and a really strategized rotation and game here, how they were trying different great strategies on their rotations, finding that strategy to send a player away from the team to gather information, using well the towers. We've seen Real perform really well in some moments of the season, but right now it seems that they are going at each other as crazy as they possibly can, and they are getting killed right at the beginning of the match every time. The first blood always goes on the head of the players from Hell.
Yes, and that is a very unfortunate start of the map. Of course, it makes their loot worse, it makes their rotations worse, and it really slows them down. So we need to see how being a little bit smarter about how they start off their maps. And of course, that might reflect a lot on how well they end their matches. So let's see if Real is able to make that different, because I think they are relying so much on the revival resource that they have no care for. Look, Triplo is already back on the game, but Real is really relying on the fact that they always have the revival, so they're losing players early, and they are probably not noticing how that's affecting their game.
It's really affecting their loot, so they get to an end game where they don't have the attack power that the other squads have.
And it slows them inside of their rotation, inside of their loot. They have to make different rotations due to that time. And look, the pause game.
The pause game is coming up for you guys after this match. And there is Justin Bieber on the pause game in place of Memgar. Players with the letter B. Bobs, Band, Bobs, Band, Broilo, Boot,
Oh, you're just copying them
Oh,
now.
I'm listening to what they're saying, and I got two that
Okay, I'm
didn't
gonna
get.
go for.
Let me check out. Let me think over here. If more players with the letter B. Oh my God, it's so tough to do when you're under pressure.
But I think that it's they're just like one or two more tops.
No, we thought that with the players with the
No,
letter
but-
T,
But
and there were 16 players with the letter
no,
T.
there were not 16 players. I mean, only if you counted, I don't know, coaches and the players that don't even play, and that's BL.
BL.
I was gonna say players that are always benched, and BL just popped into my head.
BL is over here. Let's see. I went for Bob's. Let's see. 0-0 Nation has no one.
Let me see if I can get someone else.
Corinthians goes with Memgad, Zenak, Gelo, Band. We already said. Zenak, Razor, and Gelo, and Vitinho XP. No players with B, only Band. Loud, no B player. There's no Brabox anymore. Real has no players with B. Los Grandes has no players with B.
Yeah, I think
I
that
don't know.
I'm pretty done because oh my God, Black Dragons Vasco is also gonna be
Oh, Hender goes down. Fawn with his straight aim. He's one of the best games of the league. We gotta say, he gets the takedown and the goal on Hender, forcing Easy to steal the car from Los Grandes. And now he will be set away by Gus with the grenade. Nice job by Gus getting the kill. And now they are targeting the players from BD Vasco from the top down. And it seems that Los Grandes will go for the rush. It seems that they will try to go for the rush, Isa.
Yes, they might do that. So let's see. But they are probably not going to be able to catch up to Vasco because they made their escape so quickly. But Black Dragons Vasco really needs to put those players back in the game if they want to have a good third match, because we saw Black Dragons Vasco going for a very good start of the day. And it's important that they keep that regularity that we know is their... It's kind of their weak spot. We see Black Dragons Vasco being a team of always constant ups and downs, so it's important that they end up this first half of the day in a good note. So let's see. I think they are going to be able to bring those players back.
But let's see if they will choose to fight Los Grandes or if they'll just take off. It's an important decision for Vasco right now, as Los Grandes goes down from Riverside to get to Mill, because they know that there is a vending machine over there, and that could be the destiny for the players of Vasco. It's actually not. We see that on the map, but that could be an interesting rotation from the players of Los Grandes.
Yes, and of course they are gonna catch up to God Unidas. That is also making that rotation. So let's see if that conflict is gonna happen, because God Unidas right now already must have a view of Los Grandes.
Let's see what will happen, because Los Grandes has an interesting positioning right now with the top-down view and inside of the safe zone. That could be a region that they get the control. They take a look at the mule if there is someone over there, get the information, and get that position for themselves, which can become a really strong position for the end of this match.
Yes, and of course we still have all 12 teams alive. The only 2 players that were eliminated were the members of Black Dragons Vasco, and they still were not able to use the revival, so we are getting closer and closer to 10 minutes in the match. The safe zone is going to start shrinking in less than a minute, so let's see if Black Dragons Vasco is going to be able to come back strongly towards the map, because right now they only have 2 players. While Los Grandes stays on the side of Mill, the safe zone seems to be shrinking towards the north of the map, and God Unidas has a remarkable position.
Shout out to LBFF.
Look at Vasco.
Look at Vasco with Chucky being harmed right now, and he will go down on the hands of Gelo, and Leno is right by their side, and Vasco will probably go down. They will not have the time to survive, but it seems that they saved one of their players.
What?
Leno went down, but Vasco is not wiped out.
Oh my God, I did not see that. So the hope's still on for Black Dragons Vasco.
Shout out to Christian, please reminding the world that Corinthians were the world champions here from Brazil in 2019. Elbinho saying you're wonderful as always. Isa, RG Gripan cheering for Fluxo. Spirit Gamer here, Deep Rocks. Also over here, Danny Love TV saying it's amazing. Brian Highlights cheering for God Unidas. Legend FF sending love from India. And who is not sending love are the players from Corinthians. They're sending bullets down the players of Tropa. And some grenades as well. That is really sweet from them. Now, Gelo uses the grenade, tries to take down Mandela, takes a lot of damage. I mean, Moreira takes a lot of damage, and now Spill will take a lot of damage. Corinthians has the high ground advantage. Tropa will have to rotate using the negative edge of the mountain for them to get in a good position, and they got that rotation. And now they have some of that high ground advantage for themselves, but Kiled is being really harmed by Gelo over there. Memgad is rushing, and we see Memgad rushing and getting the kill on Kiled. Getting the takedown, Vitinho XP puts Spill to the floor. Tropa now in a really bad positioning to fight. Only two players still standing, Moreira at one side and Mandela at the other one. Kiled already goes down. Corinthians get some more points. 4 kills for them, and Mandela will put Memgad to the floor. Boom brings it back and sends Kawan to the floor on the other side of the map. Let's see if Moreira will hold himself against the players from Corinthians. Azur is using the charge buster to get a kill, and Tropa will go down on the 12th position. The first team wiped out here in Bermuda, Isa.
Yes, Corinthians making an amazing fight towards Tropa. Tropa once again getting to a rough start, and Lauji will get a lot of benefit from that if they are able to keep alive. But look at where the safe zone is, Marcelo. The safe zone has gone completely towards Mill and towards an area that is completely open. So we are going to see no covers, not a lot of covers for the players all around this match. And I am loving when the safe zones are really trolling the players. And right now Corinthians once again in a fight, and this time it's Liberty they're up against.
Liberty going once again for fights that I didn't imagine them taking, and Memgad already puts down Rizzi. Now Liberty has the worst start in this fight. Rizzi goes up once again, and they will try to tie it up, and Pato puts Gelo to the floor. Now they are going over to try to take Memgad. As he rotates, Pato will get a kill on Gelo. Hazur goes down. Nice start of this fight for Liberty. They will take down the whole Corinthians squad. There's only Vitinho XP to fight, and Corinthians is destroyed by Liberty.
Oh my god, Liberty once again getting an amazing rush, really showing off their aggressiveness. And of course, Liberty really needed that performance, so let's see if they're able to get a good position of the safe zone, because right now who is not in a good position is Lauji and Real. Lauji that already lost Kawang.
Loud already lost Kawan, and now they're trying to hold the players from Hell, and look at Lost. He brings it back when Kronos gets one more kill, and now Antunes has to survive for the team of Real, and once again Real in a poor position to fight with the disadvantage on the high ground. Why are they buying those fights?
Well, I don't know, but one thing that I know is that God Unidas is going to pick up Lauji in a terrible position, and only Kronos was able to kind of get outside of their way, but Lauji is going to have a hard time because God Unidas really is making the mark out of everyone inside of the safe zone. And look, we still have 9 teams and 33 players alive.
Now the shots coming from the top down from Magic Squad, but Juan will put Bueno to sleep. Bueno, another B player.
Oh.
Bueno, another one. Now there are 6 on the list already. I'm telling you, there are a lot of players with B. Kronos now putting Antunes down, and Real goes down once again, which is really good for Liberty. They're getting to Real. They're getting to 0-0 Nation. Cias and Osado now putting 2 players from 0-0 Nation.
Oh my god. Triple kill for Ousado, and 0-0 Nation is completely down. But this safe zone is going to be very tough on everyone. Magic Squad has a good position, but still, it's going to be hard because the top of the hill has clear vision of them.
And now Liberty goes down on the hands of Fluxo. Fluxo finally waking up for the day. Now they got 7 kills, sending 0-0 Nation and Liberty back to the lobby. Liberty once again, they might go over 0-0 Nation right now. They were only 1 point behind 0-0 Nation.
Yes.
And they got the squad wipe onto Corinthians. So they can go over 0-0 Nation, and the fight is now to get to Real. Important run by Liberty on those past few weeks. Really good from them. And it's nice to see a team fighting that well to leave the relegation zone. We know that is a team that comes from Serie B, that is trying to adapt themselves to the Serie A. And it seems that they found their game for that fight against relegation. Now we see Bobs putting Ousado to the floor with the grenade, and Mike takes Japa BKR, Fluxo in a bad positioning, trying to go uphill, but they will have to deal with the Magic Squad and Galunidas. But Marreta goes to the floor on the hands of Cias. Once again, Ousado is on the floor as Mike takes Japa BKR, Cias takes Marreta. It's an exchange between those two teams, but Ousado seems to not be helped by his teammates, and Bobs will get the kill. Once again, now Fluxo has only Cias to try to keep the team alive, and he is being targeted by Pão. Pão now tries to rotate for Metagaming. Metagaming has a really good positioning in the center of the safe zone. However, out in the open, we see Rafa X using the bridge to keep himself safe as Gadonidas goes down the bridge and tries to take it down, but Cias will get Rigby and they will go down. Pão helping Cias keeping alive. Fluxo is on the hands of Cias and on the hands of Metagaming as Fluxo gets to finally a top 4 finish in this match. 3 teams with 4 players and Fluxo saved by Cias. We have Magic Squad, we have Los Grandes, and we have Metagaming with their full squads. As Cias tries to hold it in for Fluxo. Bobs will get a kill on Fonzin. Magic Squad once again in the top 4. It's just incredible the consistency from those guys in this match. They are amazing right now as Cias tries to run for his life. And Cebolinha will take Bobs to the floor as Cias tries to climb the hills. And he is still alive.
Yes.
What is he doing? He is still alive.
He just got up inside of the bridge, kind of up in that kind of in between the top and the bottom, and he's going to be able to really hold this position if Metagaming does not get a clear view of them.
But if they want to go for the clear view on Cias, they might be spotted by Los Grandes.
Exactly.
They might be spotted by the Magic Squad, so it's not interesting for them to go after Cias. Now we see Cebolinha trying to get the players of Magic Squad. Great flashbang by the Magic Squad, but Juan will track Dax to the floor. Bobs brings it back and sends Cebolinha to sleep once again with a nice kappa. More shots coming in from Bobs, but a nice grenade launcher shot from Gus will take Bobs to sleep. Now it's a 2v2 fight as Fon tries to bring back one of the players. It's Gus. Gus is back up, and they have the advantage onto the players of Magic Squad. Gatkill gets a kill on the first player, but Juan and Fon will bring them down. Fluxo finally goes down in the 4th position. There is only 2 teams to fight right now, and Los Grandes has the top-down advantage. Metagaming is under the bridge. Will they be still alive for this end game? Let's see who has the most medkits. They will have to start using their medkits right now because the safe zone is shrinking onto their heads. Let's see who will remain alive. It seems that Los Grandes wants to take some shots onto the players of Metagaming. Gus is opening up right there.
Gus really needs to use his grenades right now if they want to pick up at least 1 elimination on top of Metagaming. Oh my god.
One of the players went down. It was Fon. I was going to say that Metagaming had the advantage because they had 4 players alive. That will be some more health for them to try to be alive when the safe zone shrinks. Let's check this out because Los Grandes is trying to get to the fight. Boom, goes down with an important grenade from Gus. The shots are coming in. We see Gus trying to put down the players from Metagaming. One more player goes down. Boom is eliminated. Let's see the fight going on. Cebolinha is trying to take down the shots. Gus will put Eric to the floor once again. Kawe tries to hold Metagaming in this match. Gus is trying to make it all for Los Grandes. And Kawe is trying to hold on. He gets the kill on Cebolinha. Juan and Gus with only an inch of life left. Kawe gets the first one, but he will not get both. Juan is still alive, and he gets the takedown. So it's a booyah! Los Grandes! What a fight! They didn't need to fight. They could go for the safe zone, but they wanted those kills. They wanted those points. Los Grandes was eager to get the 4 players from Metagaming, and they did it to finish the match and get their booyah here today.
Important to say that Los Grandes really did choose to get the eliminations towards Metagaming because they had the numbers advantage, and of course what an amazing play by Juan, by Gus, that were able to keep up with the fall risks outside of the bridge. So of course a great map for Los Grandes, a great map for also Fluxo that did a lot better with a lot of eliminations, and Cias made an incredible game in holding his position, and Magic Squad once again doing very, very well.
21 points for Los Grandes, getting that buoy at 18 for Fluxo. Great job by Cias holding themselves onto the game. Metagaming with 15, finally waking up as well for the match. And Magic Squad with 9 points. God Unidas with 9 and Loud with 8. And I gotta say is in this last fight, while Gus and Juan were going after Kawe, Kawe got the kill on Gus with the MP5. And it seemed to me that he didn't have any more bullets on his MP5 to go after Juan. He was trying to get some space to use the sniper rifle because he was out of ammo on his MP5. He got one shot with the MP5, Juan will be down.
Yes, that is true. So maybe we saw that while we are seeing the MVPs of the match. And of course, we have Ousado also being one of the MVPs. And Laude is getting an importantly regular outcome today, of course, as well. And they need a good day if they're gonna fight for the first half of the standings. While Liberty is once again with a good regular punctuation with 8 points. Corinthians getting a couple of eliminations that helped in their points because they fell quite early in the match. And Tropa and Black Dragons Vasco with 0 points.
Important to say, we have to say that the fight for Liberty is to outscore 0-0 Nation and Real, and they did it 3 maps in a row. Once again, that play I was talking about, Kawe puts Gus down with the MP5, and then he doesn't have any more ammo to go with the MP5 against Juan. He had to pull up the sniper rifle, and that was probably what's probably took the booyah from Metagaming.
Yes, of course, because Metagaming, the players from Los Grandes had just an inch of life. So if maybe Metagaming had a couple more bullets or even a better position, because they were like kind of under the hill.
And Juan had to shot twice with the charge buster.
Yes.
He got the first shot, took half of his life, and then the second one killed.
He only had like an inch of life, so if Kawe had gotten one single shot at him, they would have had a booyah. But anyway, great game for not only Los Grandes, also for Metagaming. They were able to hold their position very well. And of course, we are going to our second half of the day, actually.
But first, let me take a break. We'll be right back after a quick break to bring you guys the emotions of the 3 next maps of the day really quickly.
Salve, rapaziada! Chegamos com a filosofia do Rei Leão. Hakuna Matata.
É lindo de ver.
Hakuna Matata.
Você vai entender.
Os seus problemas você deve esquecer, tropinha. Sabe por quê? Porque começou a 4ª rodada do Jogo Pausado. O game de perguntas e respostas mais hypado do planeta em 2022.
Que é isso, meu filho? Calma.
Nossos amiguinhos Peu, MVR e Antunes já carimbaram passaporte pra semifinal. Bora pro próximo? Vai daí, editor.
Salve, rapaziada, sou o Calmonstete, jogador da Loud.
Dou uma 9 aqui da 00 Nation, tô aqui hoje no Jogo Pausado.
A partir de agora tá valendo, vou fazer a pergunta, a gente cronometra. Tranquilo?
Força, guerreiro, vai dar tudo certo.
Cite em 15 segundos o máximo de armas que são SMG.
MP40, Vector, Mac 10.
UMP, Mac 10, MP40, P90.
MP40, MP5. UMP.
3 respostas em 6 segundos? Acelera, papai.
Deu um branco aqui.
Só você?
Não lembro mais, mano.
Acho que acabou.
Acertei menos que 10%.
10%? Cê é louco, acertou 4 de 12. A famosa dízima periódica. 33,333333333%.
Cite em 15 segundos o máximo de personagens masculinos.
Adam, Ford, Maxim. Tá merda.
Olha a boca, tem vovó assistindo.
Alok, CR7, Álvaro, Antônio, Maxim, Andrew.
Hayato, Andrew, Álvaro, Maxim.
Caraca, deu um branco.
É, parceiro, acontece com os melhores pro players. Segue o baile.
Cite em 15 segundos o máximo de jogadores que começam com a letra A.
Isso, há de amassar. Pode amassar, pai.
Antunes e Aranha só.
Pera aí, que tem mais 14.
Não sei se eu não, viu?
A1.
Acabou o tempo, acabou o tempo.
Boa, garotão. Acertou uma de 15.
Essa deu 1-0.
Cite em 15 segundos o máximo de personagens que foram inspirados em um filme ou em alguém da vida real.
Alok, CR7.
Hayato.
Skyler, Alok, CR7.
Não tem, não lembro.
Acho que eu sou o pior pontuador disso aqui.
É, Render, pior que você acertou. O Cauã garantiu vaga na semifinal.
I just love those games from the pause game. We are here looking at the screen and trying to find
Yes, we
how
always
can
try.
15 players with the letter A with over there. We have Altman, we have A1, we have
Antunes,
Aranha is not on Series A anymore.
Neither on Series B, but
Alok 10. My God, it's tough. It's really tough. But you gotta check the standings to see how those next 3 maps will be able to affect that Magic Squad going over 700 points right now. Important mark for Magic Squad, but Flux with the good game brought back some of that difference for themselves. Important match for Fluxo as well. Corinthians retaking the 4th position from Vasco. They will be fighting on that. And Los Grandes also joins that fight. Now they are only 4 points behind Corinthians.
yes, and of course Magic Squad establishing a leadership of over 60 points on top of Fluxo and over 80 points on top of B4, which is an amazing advantage. And we have Liberty and Real with very close punctuation, so if Real does not watch out, Liberty is gonna pass them as well, because Liberty has passed already 00 Nation. They're gonna pass Nitrox, and Real really needs to keep an eye on them if they don't want to lose the 14th spot. And we have Corinthians getting on top of Black Dragons Vasco by only 3 points, but still on top of Black Dragons Vasco that had 2 amazing first matches and an unfortunate Bermuda, which is surprising because Black Dragons Vasco usually does really well on Bermuda.
And we're going back to Purgatory, a map where we've seen Real fall down in the last position, and it's now an only 8-point difference between Real and Liberty. Liberty can, in this match, finish in the 14th position. In this match, a team that 2 weeks ago was thought to be already relegated on the last position with no chances of coming back. They now can get to the 14th position in this map. Really outstanding recuperation moment for Liberty.
Yes, of course, they are making an amazing improvement of their game, as we have said a lot during this day. But we are going towards the second half of the day, so we need to see how the teams are going to be able to build up their game inside of this round, because it's going to be important in the standings.
Shout out to Dark Souls over here, saying lesson of zone prediction on the last map. Sam FF over here, RG Kripan, Mr. Learner, and Frost saying you're gothic today here because you're all on the list, on the board, because you're clear to take off. So let's hit the skies, ladies and gentlemen, from the flight R16D4 heading straight to Purgatory. This is our captain, myself, Irantine, and by my side, my co-pilot Isa, invites you to loosen your seatbelts, fasten your boards, because it's time to drop, Isa.
And for the second Purgatory of the day, will we see once again Black Dragon Vasco and Corinthians dominating the map? Because we saw in the last Purgatory a very slow match. We saw everyone trying to get into the safe zone, but they couldn't, and that was that whole fight going on. But let's check out, because the safe zone is going to predict how the teams are going to be able to do inside of the map. And look, Los Grandes has a clear view of Liberty that chose once again to get to the downside area of Brasilia instead of going straight for Fire Brigade. So they are really buying off that conflict, and of course they're also taking some loot out of Los Grandes that usually makes that loot when Liberty does not kind of gets in the way. So let's see if they're going to be able to make the conflict, or if they're going to make the loot and then go straight for Fire Brigade.
But it seems that Gado Unidas is sending a player over there to scout the situation. We see that loose player from Gado Unidas in the map, but Los Grandes is splitting dangerously amongst those players, and if that player from Gado Unidas comes to scout and get 1 versus 1, he can take down 2 important players from Los Grandes right now. And check out what there is in Buia. The best streamers are in Buia, including our friend Acelora, that has presented herself over here in the international broadcast a few times. She will be back in a few weeks to bring some more infos here in the English broadcast, in the international broadcast, and she is in Buia. So get to Booyah.live and find out the best streamers in the world for you guys to check this out.
And of course, Liberty just took some of Los Grandes' loot, and then they came right back towards Fire Brigade. And we have a substitution on Real's team. That is VM7 back really in the place of Antunes. And I really don't get why VM7 isn't always on the squad of Real, because he's such an important player. So I think Antunes is also an important player. I don't know why they keep casting them, either one or the other. So let's see if Real is going to be able to do better, because I really think that they should be testing different castings of the squad. But talking about casting, look, Magic Squad bringing in Italo in the place of Bueno. So Magic Squad that did not have a good first Purgatory, and I think Bueno was in the squad, so maybe that's why they took Italo right now.
And it's a change that is usual here in this Magic Squad. Italo and Bueno changing, Godkill and Guasha also changing a few times. So this is a team that is working really well with all those 6 pieces that form the roster.
Yes, of course. We talked about it a lot, how Magic Squad really does change their casting a lot, and they still are able to always basically doing well. But look, Fluxo is the only team with over 100 kills on all maps on this LBFF split. So Fluxo, that is also the kill leader so far, but Magic Squad is really getting close to them. So we see they have 121 kills in Bermuda, their leader map in kills, 108 in Kalahari, and 100 on Purgatory. So let's check it out.
Let's check this out. They are going for their usual rotation, dropping on Central, and then going after those rotations. Shout out to Mr. Learner, shout out to RG Kripan, Frost, Samarth, Patrão HS 10%, also over here tuning for Loud. And tell us where you guys are from. Our airplane has to cover the whole world, and we need to know where will be our stops around the world. It's nice to have you guys here, as we see 19 with the Saitama skin, the Brazilian Saitama, using the skin that was made for himself. And I just love when 19 is playing with the Saitama skin. Now
And he's always playing with that skin. It's
Indeed.
really his kind of mark.
his signature.
Yes.
And we have 0-0 Nation right now that lost the spot to Liberty, and they need to get some more points. They need to change the way that they are playing, because it seems that 0-0 Nation always start the game amidst of a lot of teams. And their rotation seems to be closed from the beginning, from the get-go. And if you check out the map, it's what's happening right now. If they have to center themselves on the map, they will have to deal with Garo Unidas, they will have to deal with Vasco coming down, they will have to deal with Corinthians. It seems that they are always amidst a lot of teams.
Yes, and of course that can be interesting, but only if the safe zone really does favor you. So if 0-0 Nation doesn't have that perfect predict of the safe zone, they're going to get in a lot of trouble to get out of that region. So let's see, because their drop call also favors a really slow game, a slow rotation, because they have fallen in such a central positioning inside of the map of Purgatory. So they don't have a lot of places to go unless they really see that the safe zone is going towards one of the ends of the map. So 0-0 Nation making an interesting game, but as Marcelo pointed out, it doesn't always work for them. So let's see what they are going to be able to do, because God Unidas already took position in the road of fields, above fields, and that is a very interesting position. But Black Dragons Vasco is also on those hills. So it's going to be maybe hard for those teams if the safe zone doesn't go completely towards the north of the map. And also we have Corinthians taking over one of Loud's usual positions. So let's see what Loud is going to be able to do, because Corinthians is already making their mark. And look, Loud is still in the Moat House area. They chose to make a different rotation right now.
Because the safe zone is really to the northeast of the map, and it's covering Moat House right now. It's an unusual safe zone spot that we are having here right now, and let's see where the next safe zone will be. It leaves Moat House out. It will force Loud to rotate, and Vasco already looted Moat House as they usually do. They go for their drop call in Moat House, take it all that they can have, and then they get to their positioning, and it's now a good positioning inside of the next safe zone. Who is not in a good position is Los Grandes. They will have to deal with 0-0 Nation with metagaming, and they will need to go for a quick rotation if they want to leave, Isa.
Yes, and of course we have had no conflicts yet. We have 12 teams and 48 players, which means that this match once again is going towards a slower ending and towards the end game that really blows up the entire map. So let's see, if we have the safe zone dropping in fields, we're going to see a lot of teams struggling to get down of the northern area of the map, to get down the hills, and a lot of teams trying to get inside of fields in that area that comes from Brasilia. So right now Lounge getting some hits at Tropa, and they were able to make the first kill towards Mandela. Lost getting the first kill inside of the map, and Tropa getting to a rough start, because Loud and Tropa are two teams that are competing for the same position. So bad news for Tropa losing a player so soon for Loud.
Important takedown from Loud as well, because they know that they will need to open the path to the safe zone. And now we see Tropa going over, and they might get trampled by God Unidas. They left the car, and now they are fighting by foot. We see some shots going out. We see Mike with the Charge Buster. There are a lot of players with the Charge Buster here for this God Unidas squad, and the shots are out. They go inside of the CR7. Moreira will take down the first player. Kiled with the grenade puts down two players from God Unidas. Nice job by Kiled keeping Drop alive, but Marreta and Rigby are trying to bring it back. Now there is only Marreta. Moreira is coming with the scythe. He already got one, and he gets two! Double kill with the scythe for Moreira, and he saves Tropa against God Unidas, but now he's all by himself to try to keep Tropa alive, Isa.
Very hard situation for Moreira, especially because he is in the middle of the safe zone completely alone, and it's going to be basically impossible for him to save any of the rest of the players.
Magic Squad going for a rotation, and they got chased by the players of Real. Now we see Fluxo going after the players from Corinthians as well on the other side of the safe, and they are using the negative edge to get to a better positioning, but they are being targeted from below. Who is targeting Fluxo? We gotta see by the map. There we see the full view of this fight as Corinthians is split between two of the shelters, and Fluxo is going for the first one, where is Razur trying to hold on with Gelo. Ousado is already knocking on their door. He wants to go in. He wants to take down the players that are trying to hold that space. Cias with the grenade. He knows that their players are forced out, and now he takes a few damage onto Gelo and Razur. The shot almost took down Ousado. He was forced to go back and to restart his approach, as Cias is trying to hold Memgad and Vitinho XP on the other side as they try to close in the distance to help Razur and also Gelo. Cias will put Razur to the floor finally. He gets the kill. He gets the point for Fluxo. Now, Vitinho and Memgad are trying to bring it back in the sand. Cias to the floor with a nice grenade from Vitinho XP. He gets the kill and gets the fight to a 3v3 once again. Ousado, he's trying to find the shots, and Fuck is in a really bad position. He goes down on the hands of Memgad. He was sandwiched by two players from Corinthians, and now Corinthians has the numbers advantage in this fight against Japa, BKR, and Ousado. But Japa puts Gelo to the floor. Important shot from Japa. And now the Skylar skill puts down the ice, and only Vitinho XP to fight for Corinthians, and Fluxo will get the kill. Ousado and Japa, BKR saving Fluxo. Put that on the hands of Mr. LBFF. Is a
very important takedown for Fluxo that did not go well today, only in the last map that was Bermuda. So Fluxo really making a recovery into their game. So very important for them to get this takedown on Corinthians. Corinthians that took the last Booyah in the Purgatory map and right now falling at the 11th position. And look, Black Dragons Vasco surrounded by Real, Loud, and Moreira that is still alive and just under the rock under Black Dragons Vasco.
We see that Vasco has a great positioning right now. If they get to spot Moreira, it will be an easy kill, but they are also dealing with, once again, Loud. Once again, we see that confrontation between Loud and Vasco. We've seen that happen in every map for the past 5 or 6 weeks. So it's becoming personal. We see Kawan trying to get over Hender, and Hender will put Kawan to the floor. Nice job from Vasco starting that fight as well. As Lost tries to come over, Hender will put him down, and Kronos and Oda tries to bring it back for Loud, as Leno will try to bring it back. Look at the Warlock! Kronos finds him and get the kill. Chucky will enter the ice and get the kill, and BT Vasco will go down on the hands of Kronos! The Warlock makes it count for Loud, and they send Vasco back to the bottom of the table. Nice job by Loud holding themselves up, and they have 5 kills. They are still in this match with their full squad. Nice job by Kronos, making the highlight of the day for the Warlock. Grenades out from Bobs, trying to find the players of Metagaming. Pão is on the floor. One more grenade now, trying to take the kill and maybe trying to take down some more players. He will try the grenade once again. He's going for the remaining players of Metagaming. Eric will put Italo to the floor. Spec will put Drax as well. Now Magic Squad with 2 players down in a bad positioning. Eric will take the kill on Italo. Kawan will join the fight against Real. We see Davi taking Kawe down, and Eric as well getting 2 kills for Liberty. They are coming over, and Pão will try to take them down, but there is still Kawe on the floor. Rafa X will go down as well on the hands of Davi. Great job by Davi getting the kills on the players of Metagaming, as Drizzy will try to use the grenades to confirm those kills, and he does it. He gets the kill on Kawe, and the triple goes for Davi. As Peck will try to rotate, he breaks the ice, but Pão is by his side. He gets the takedown, but not the kill. So Metagaming goes down in the 9th position, and Liberty keeps scoring. They keep going up hills. They keep going up on the table. They have already 7 points confirmed, and they needed 8 to get to 0-0 Nation. Now we see David trying the shots out. They get a really good position as Tropa goes down on the hands of 0-0 Nation. Real Esports also goes down, this time on the hands of Loud. Loud with 9 kills, going for a great game here in Purgatory. They were the experts of Purgatory last season. It's only a matter of time for them to bring it back. We see Pato now rotating Liberty with 3 players still in this fight. 6 teams trying to save themselves as Juan gets over and takes David to the floor. Now Magic Squad is also going for the players of Liberty. They will have to rotate. Pato and Peck are trying to come over. They will go down. Los Grandes also go down. God Kill gets a kill on Pato. Fluxo also goes down. Peck will take God Kill to the floor. And now he's trying to keep Liberty alive. It's an important match for Liberty. Peck will take Bops as well. He can go for the triple kill. He can go for the clutch. It is incredible what Liberty is doing for this past few weeks. And Peck can get tracks over there if he takes one shot with the Charge Buster. He uses the chrono and gets the beautiful clutch fight for Liberty, with Peck taking 2 kills for himself. Incredible job fighting the 1v3 and getting the numbers for himself. But now 0-0 Nation is coming over. 0-0 Nation have full advantage because Lost and Noda are trying to defend the players from Loud over there. They brought back one of the players, and now they will have a 4v3 situation to go over. If Peck helps him, it's a 4v4. Let's see if Peck will try to keep himself alive. 1-9 is trying to lead the charge. 4-0 Nation. Liberty will go down on the hands of Noda. One more important kill for Loud. K1 goes down finally on the hands of 1-9, and now there's Noda and Lost to fight. Those were the two players that had some weapons for this Loud squad. Lost will try to open up, and Dudu FFX goes to the floor. Now it's a 3v2. Noda has the quadra kill and Lost will go down. Noda goes down, but Lost brings it back and he will go down. So it's a boo! Yeah! 0-0 Nation! An important booyah for a team that have been in a real slump right now, but they stood up their ground. They kept themselves alive. Not many kills, but many points because of the booyah, Isa.
Of course, 0-0 Nation getting the booyah that they needed so much because their day was not so good up until this point. So they are going to be able to keep some advantage in the standings towards the teams that are trying so hard to pull them out, like Liberty itself, like Real, that needs to keep an advantage towards 0-0 Nation. So great game by 0-0 Nation, but this match was dominated by Lounge that was able to get a lot of eliminations. They got the second position, and of course, once again, we saw K1 and Lost really holding it off for the squad of Lounge. Fluxo once again doing well, so Fluxo really being able to recover from their game with 13 points. Liberty 14 points. What an amazing match by Peck. He really was able to make that clutch and make a different game than what we were seeing from Liberty. Liberty is really on a rise here in this championship, especially today.
And we have Magic Squad going for an average number of points. They keep themselves on the top of the table for the day. We have Tropa with 6 points, Real with 5, Metagaming with 3, Corinthians 2, Guaranidas 2, and Vasco with only 1 point. This day is becoming a mess right now. Everyone is getting a lot of points.
Yes, it is becoming a mess because we started off with Corinthians, Black Dragons Vasco doing really well, and now they just came from 2 very hard matches, which is going to even the amount of points for all the teams. But Magic Squad is doing impressively well, and Los Grandes also has a good regularity. Also Loud is doing very well today, so we're going to have a mad stuff, a punctuation schedule for us today. So the last 2 matches are going to really be able to define which teams really did better. And of course, we are going to call Kalahari next, which is going to be interesting.
And we got to check out the standings to know how are we getting to Kalahari. Fluxo shortening the distance a little bit onto Magic Squad, 4 points less after this match. Los Grandes getting the 4th position from Corinthians and Vasco, 2 teams that didn't perform really well in this match. Metagaming and Guaranidas still on their same stalemate over there. Loud getting the 11th position from Team Liquid. Important move from Loud. But 0-0 Nation and Liberty now fighting for the 14th position, taking Nitrox to the 17th position. And it's now a direct fight between 0-0 Nation, Real, and Liberty. Liberty was fighting against Netshoes Miners for the whole season. Now they are trying to get to shorten the gap between them and Tropa.
And they are doing very well. Even though 0-0 Nation got the booyah, Liberty has been having the best performance today. So if they're able to keep it up for the last couple of matches, they are going to pass 0-0 Nation once again, and they should get some advantage towards Nitrox, that if the last matches go really well, it's going to be a good difference, even though it's not going to be enough because Nitrox still has 2 days to play. It's going to be good. And talking about a good difference, Loud getting 46 points in difference towards Tropa, which is amazing because they have the same amount of matches played. So Tropa is getting a harder and harder time to get to Loud, and Loud is going to be able to make a difference towards Team Liquid, which is going to be so important if they want to get to the first half of the standings, and of course they do. So
they need
yes.
those points. It's a moment where Loud needs to settle themselves inside of the top 12, and leaving a team between them and the 12th position is important because you create something of a life for the team to at least have a bad day. That is something that happens sometimes, and for them to have a breather in amidst this fight. But we are heading to Kalahari, and we started the day with Magic Squad as the best team in Kalahari, and that led them to the Booyah. So could they go for the double Booyahs? They are the teams leading the league in Booyahs. They are the teams leading the league in points, leading the league as per se. So it's really good to see a team perform that well in all three maps, right?
Yes, and of course Magic Squad has reached the amazing amount of 700 points today, so they might even go to 750 or something like that. So let's see how Magic Squad is going to be able to make those last couple of matches, because their difference in the leadership, their advantage in the leadership is getting more and more amazing. So we are seeing such a strong leadership from Magic Squad, and if they don't tremble around the championship, they are going to be able to make it into the finals with 12 points in advantage. It is important to remind you guys that in the finals you get a bonus from your classification experience. So the first position gets 12 points, the second gets 9, and it goes
exactly as the points from a map.
Yes. Exactly as the punctuation for one single map. So it is going to be so important for Magic Squad to get to the finals with 12 points, as we have seen in the last season before getting the title of the 6th edition of the LBFF, due to those points that they got in the classification part of the championship. So it really is something that is very significant, and even we saw some teams losing titles due to that. Corinthians lost the title in the 5th LBFF to Fluxo because of the punctuation, because they got
in the 4th actually.
The 4th, yes, 4th LBFF to Fluxo because of those points. So very important to go well in the classification part of the championships if you want to get to the finals with some edge.
Shout out to Gabriel saying Vasco da Gama over here. KH saying finally Loud. Vid Epic Guy asking why LBFF starts with Purgatory and not Bermuda, because we want to be different. We want to be special. And because Bermuda,
in the other countries, they start with Bermuda.
It is, as he says, it starts with Bermuda, and it's nice. That's because
weird.
Bermuda is the most thrilling map. So it's really good to see Bermuda to finish the day. It saves the emotion for last. I like it. Zoe Easy over here, also with Canal Deritela. Also here saying it was almost a Booyah from Loud. And Wangedits, we are all inside of the cabin because you're clear to take off. So let's hit the skies! Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight R16D5 heading straight to Kalahari. This is your captain Marcelo Ferrantino, and my my co-pilot Isa invites you to loosen your seatbelts, fasten your boards, because it's time to drop, Isa!
Time to drop, and here we are on the second map of the second half of the day, actually. So we have our second map of Kalahari, and it's going to be very important to see how the teams are going to do. Magic Squad, that are the leaders in Purgatory points, have also the blue zone to count on, so maybe a very good match for them once again. And we see that they are dividing their loot just like Vivocade does. So they're kind of looting not only their usual drop call, but also the safe haven area. So let's see if they are going to be able to really get out of their well, which is obvious that they will. And here we are checking out how 00 Nation is making their loot, because they just come from the Booyah and they need some extra points if they want to get an advantage towards Liberty and Real.
They do need those points, and they are coming from a booyah, and it changes a little bit of the mindset of the team after an important match like getting a booyah, right?
Yes, it does change the mindset. And look, we have substitutions. We have Juninho getting in and Mike getting out of the squad. So, interesting substitution for God Unidas that usually does not count with Juninho. Juninho is the player for God Unidas that plays the least, if I'm not mistaken. So, interesting casting for them. Let's check it out because God Unidas is really playing on the refinery in this specific confrontation. God Unidas always gets the refinery call, which we all know to be very strong. So if the safe zone just close off to the center of the map, it's going to be very good news for God Unidas.
Indeed it is, and we've seen this refinery spot being so strong at the hands of before for a long time, and God Unidas has the same style of play that before goes to here in Kalahari. This could really be an important match for God Unidas to try to bring back that fight that we've seen from them on the beginning of the season. And maybe because of that great start, God Unidas stepped on the brakes a little bit and then started experimenting a little bit, started changing their drop calls. They know that if they go to the finals, they will have to fight for that drop call with before. And maybe it's a moment where they are experimenting some possible different drop calls, right?
Yes, of course, and they should because Before is basically confirmed on the finals, and we don't know if Before is going to leave Refinery because it's their call for such a long time here in the LBFF, and I'm pretty sure that they won't leave it to anyone. So let's see how God Unidas is going to be able to try different drop calls to make different matches in Kalahari. And of course, Kalahari is not their strong suit, so if they are not doing so well in Kalahari, they maybe might rely on different drop calls to try something new in the map. But we are seeing right now Black Dragons Vasco, 12 teams, 48 players, so no confrontations yet. In Black Dragons Vasco that really needs some extra points to make their day good again. But look, we have Corinthians and Tropa. I said too soon that we had no confrontations.
There are some confrontations in tThe now was brought back. The command post is always Corinthians, but they are always being targeted from the top of the antenna. Now tThe goes down once again, but it's really tough for you to confirm the kills on the players on top of the tower because they just need to crawl to the middle and you have no vision of them, is it?
And look who just got there. Los Grandes is also in the command post region, and they are taking position just in the other side of Tropa. So Corinthians in the middle of two teams with one player less. So if they want to get to the store, maybe they have the coins to buy off the player that they lost, but they are going to have a hard time getting to the store.
They will have a tough time leaving the command post at all because if they go...
But the store's right there.
I know, but Los Grandes is there. Don't forget about
Los
it.
Grandes is on the other side. Maybe if...
They have the site.
Maybe if Corinthians makes the way around inside of it... Ooh, jealous down.
Look at Vitinho XP putting two players down with nice two capas, but he will not once again confirm those kills. Tropa will be helped over there. The only way for you to get those kills on the top of the tower is if you take down all the players that are on the top of the tower.
Yes, yes. And of course, we know that Corinthians does not get the position to be just behind the command post tower and maybe try to pick up some grenades or something, but it's going to be very hard for Tropa to get any players eliminated. While we see Liberty and Fluxo making a confrontation right in the open in the borders of the map.
Shout out to Titan who just got in. He forgot about the broadcast over here today. But it's okay, my man. It's Saturday. You're free to take your vacations as long as you get here to shout out us. You're forgiven. Now we see the rotation from the players of Liberty being targeted by Fluxo. Davi was left behind, but it seems that he will have some way out as we see Fluxo splitting their players and trying to go with those Aduencias after those players from Liberty. Pack takes a lot of shots from Japa BKR. Once again, Mr. LBFF making it rain. Now Cias gets a good position. Ousado will take the kill on Pack. Now he's being helped by Pato over there. He got to the side of Pack and said, wah, and he just went down once again. And Cias gets that kill with the grenade. Now there are only 2 players to fight for Liberty. In a moment that they needed desperately to get the points to put down the players from 00 Nation to the 15th position, they are being destroyed by Fluxo in the Labyrinth. In the Labyrinth zone for you guys who played Sonic. But if you didn't, it's just the Labyrinth. Now we have Fak over there rotating. Jabba BKR will get the kill on Drizzy. And now there is only 1 player to fight for Liberty. It's tThe that was left behind. On the other side of the map, he will probably run to try to take Liberty back into this matchup, is it?
Yes, and this is a very important match for Liberty that is competing, as we have said so many times, with 00 Nation and how for the top of the access group and maybe a way out of it. So let's check it out, because Tropa is not doing so well, so they are probably going to leave an open spot in the access group, which is going to be important for those teams, while Fluxo already was able to pick up 3 kills, but they are still inside of the gas, and they need to make position in the safe zone if they want to get a good match.
We see that Fluxo will indeed have a good positioning right now and a good run for the safe zone, because it doesn't seem that there is someone to try to oppose themselves to Fluxo right now in that run for the safe zone, is it?
Yes, and of course we saw Bob's eliminating one of the players for Corinthians, so we see Magic Squad also getting to the command post. The command post area is very crowded right now, which probably means that the safe zone is going to get there. Metagaming also making a confrontation right now with Magic Squad.
Some shots out from Bobs using the hand cannon and taking down the player from Metagaming. That was Pão getting the kill from Pão. And now he's trying some more shots out to try to deal some damage onto the players of Metagaming, as Italo tries to hop over there. Tries to bop to the top. If you guys watched High School Musical, you know what I'm talking about. And he's trying to get to a good positioning. We see Drax over there. Got killed is by the watchtower. And the Magic Squad is indeed closing out on the control post, on the command post, is because, as you said, probably the end game will go there. Shout out to Ananya Das over here, also here with us, Isa.
Yes, and of course we still have 12 teams, 42 players alive, which
12
means...
players, 42 teams.
Yes, I'd love that. 42 players of like half player each, but we have the command post area being very crowded. Liberty is a team that is trying to get out of the gas zone because they have such a struggle, but still they were able to save all of the players that they lost, which is important for their development inside of the match, but Drizzy is falling right in the side of Loud, which will make it very hard for them to survive.
Beck already went down.
Yes.
Beck was already taken down. And Liberty will have to bring Beck back once again. Now we have the fight going on between Tropa and Corinthians. Tropa getting the kill on Memgad. Now Corinthians is left with only 2 players to fight. That region of the command post is really tough for now. And Kiled will get the kill on Vitinho XP. Corinthians is out in the 12th position. Bad match for Corinthians here in Kalahari, a map where they usually really thrive.
Yes, and especially it is important to say that Corinthians started off the day really well, and now they're trembling past the day. But look, Fluxo has found tThe once again, and they might now eliminate him.
tThe already put the first player down from Fluxo. He's trying to rotate to get some coverage, to get some shelter over there as the grenade comes over. And Japa BKR is trying to get to tThe as quickly as he possibly can, using the Miranha, the grappling hook over there. And now shooting the players from God Unidas atop of the refinery. He's rotating, he's using the edges of the map to get some secrecy, to get some space to work over there as Cias goes uphill with Ousado, with Fak, and will try to rotate to inside of the safe zone. They are not going after tThe. Cias is still holding his ground, waiting for tThe to show up, and Isa, it seems that this fight could happen.
It can happen, and we see once again a Kalahari map that is very slow. We see still 11 teams alive, 41 players. Fluxo is making the border of the safe zone, but of course, God Unidas has the best position because they fell in the refinery area and they are taking over that place, that region, to make their mark towards all of the teams. And of course, we have such a strong position from the teams that are in the central part of the safe zone. It is going to be important to see how they're going to be able to get inside. But look, Laude is just on top of Black Dragons Vasco, while Los Grandes still did not get out of their first position. So Real right now once again in a bad spot.
Azulina Namasa saying she's watching LBFF with her girlfriend and explaining the game. Leticia França also saying this is the Loud that she likes. But now the fight goes on between Vasco and Loud, and Real also getting there. Some shots going out, trying to get the spot. And JapXL will put Easy to the floor. VM7 brings Leno down, and Real is trying to get a good spot in this fight. 2 players down already for Vasco. Triple X puts Hender to sleep, and Chucky will bring JapXL to the floor. The VM7 goes down. BD Vasco once again in the 11th position. But Real will get 4 kills and will probably bring their players back into this fight.
And look, we see that Los Grandes really was able to take some advantage out of that fight, and Real was able to keep alive, which is so important for their development. But God Unidas still holds the best position in the refinery area. Laude is just on top of Real right now because Black Dragons Vasco just went back to the lobby once again. A bad performance for their match, which their day started off really good. So it is surprising to see how they're really holding up their development.
And we see Magic Squad going out with 3 players taken down by the safe zone. Poor rotation by the leaders. Magic Squad, they only got kill to a fight. The other 3 players went down because of the safe zone. A nice job by Tropa holding them outside of the safe zone, holding them inside of the gas and forcing them to take some damage onto the players. Important fight for Tropa right now. They have 6 kills and they are trying to rotate inside. They are starting to feel pressure coming from below them on the board, and this could become indeed a good moment for Tropa to return to the good moments on the season. Fluxo now losing 2 players to God Unidas, who have an incredible position by the refinery, and we see that half of the refinery is still inside of the safe zone, is it?
Yes, and of course, God Unidas holding that position still gets the advantage towards the safe zone that close completely towards the refinery, but Flux is going to have a hard time getting inside. They only have 1 player left. 0-0 Nation going strongly towards a second good map in the day, which is going to take them far along in the standings.
Now we have 0-0 Nation and Tropa going at each other. Moreira just tried to be really bold, and he goes down. Now Kiled is the last one trying to hold 0-0 Nation against Tropa. Another good match from 0-0 Nation, but Kiled gets to do FFX and Miguel will get a kill, saving probably 0-0 Nation over there. The safe zone is shrinking and giving Loud a great position. However, we still have tThe fighting for liberty. Important position by tThe right now, using the edge of the bridge to keep himself hidden. Now the shots coming from Loud. Loud is still with no kills on their hands, trying to hold Real from coming uphill. Lost is there. He's trying to sight the players, and now Japa puts Juan back to the floor with a nice capa, with a nice shot with the Barrett. Grenades from Triple X. He gets the takedown on Cebolinha from Los Grandes. Los Grandes, Real, Loud, all at the same spot and fighting the same battle, but 0-0 Nation and God Unidas are fighting from the other side, and tThe is holding Liberty alive with no fights. Gus will put Tattoo to the floor, and as Shakira would say, and the guys that go with Shakira would say, look at Gus, the triple kill with the grenade launcher! The triple with the grenade launcher for Gus brings Los Grandes once again to the end game. He gets the quadra, as Honey will put Juninho to the floor. Lost will try to put Gus down, and he gets the kill on Gus. Important kill against Los Grandes to try to hold them under the hill. Now we see Noda and Lost going uphill, and God Unidas will try to fight for that spot. Rigby will put Lost to the floor. Nice job by Godonidas leaving the refinery and getting a good position. But K1 went up the antenna. He gets a great position to try to keep Loud alive. Rigby will put Noda to the floor. Triple kill for Rigby and 10 kills for Godonidas. Important match using the refinery as they intended to do. Amassing some great kills, getting some good numbers to go for the end game. Now we see Juninho, Miguel, Marreta and Mike. Also, Marreta and Rigby actually in a good position, needing to go downhill, but they know that K1 is up there. Honey gets 2 kills and take down the players from Los Grandes, but he also goes down on the hands of one more player from Godonidas. Davi still alive and still fighting and still hiding to be in the end game. Rigby now takes the FFX to the floor. Good position right now from Godonidas to go for that booyah. An incredible positioning from a team that remained on the center of the map. Now Nicholas will go down. 0-0 Nation falls to the ground. And now they will have to deal with Davi. Davi just showed up. He chose the wrong woman to go over and he will go down on the 3rd position, at least getting some good points for Liberty. K1 will take down Marreta. Now there's only Miguel and Mike to fight. Rigby goes down and he almost takes it all.
Oh.
But the booyah goes to the hands of Godonidas. So it's a booyah, Godonidas! The perfect game from a team that plays on Refinery. They got the kills. They went downhill with intelligence, smartly taking down the players from the other squads. And they amass 14 kills with the booyah. Here is
Godonidas once again getting the best out of position that they possibly can, and they were able to guarantee the 5th booyah of the day. But of course, in the end game, I thought that K1 for a second was gonna make the booyah because he was alone, but it was just Miguel that was against him.
still alive.
Yes, that was still alive, that was against him. So K1 almost got the booyah for Loud. Loud that is making an amazing game today because they are almost, probably in every single match, they were able to get to the end game, even if they didn't have any kills. So right now, K1 holding the top 2 for Loud, but 0-0 Nation also did very well.
12 points, but it's impressive to see that Godonidas went for 26, and then the other points were really spread throughout the table. 12 points for the second team is not that usual from what we see, and up until the 7th or 8th position, everyone got a decent score. So really spread points between those teams, and Rigby also the MVP with 5 kills, 2 MVPs in this match for Godonidas, Miguel and Rigby. This shows how well they did. 14 kills, 26 points, which will launch Godonidas on the table. We gotta go for a quick break, Isa, and then we will study what will go on in the standings and what happened for the last map of the day. We'll be right back. We are back live to bring you guys the last map of the day of the round 16. We still have rounds 17 and 18 this weekend. 17 tomorrow at the same time, 1 p.m. 18 on Monday at 8 p.m. here in Brazilian time. And I expect you guys to be here for all of those rounds because we know that you love LBFF and you need to be here, and we need to see the standings to see how we're going to this last map of the day. Garonidas getting the positioning from Metagaming and now starting to try to smell a little bit of this next group above them.
Yes, and of course Loud getting to the 10th position, which is so good for them, but right now they still have a big difference towards Metagaming that is 30 points away from them, so difficult path for Loud, but still they are having a very good day and they're building up the points to get to the first half of the standings, while we see 0-0 Nation, Liberty, Tropa and Real still in the same positions. They are playing for the Access group. Tropa has a really big advantage towards 0-0 Nation, but they still are not close to Loud, so Loud really making a difference towards Tropa. They started off with a small difference for Loud, and now they have a big one because Tropa did not go out today, which is bad news for them because the 13th spot is not the ideal position.
They're not going anywhere. Yes. They're not going anywhere in the 13th position. They will not be playing the finals. They will not be playing the Access group. They will be over with their season.
Yes, that is true, which is not what they want for sure. So we're going to check out what's going to happen in the last Bermuda, because in the previous map we had Los Grandes completely dominating the map of Bermuda, and we had a crazy safe zone, so a lot of different confrontations happening in the last map of Bermuda, and I am hoping that this happens again in the last match. Of course, we're going to keep all of our emotions for the very last map of the day, and we are going to get there soon.
Shout outs to Yash, shout outs to KH saying Loud is finally having a good day. Shout outs to Mr. Joker saying it's now 11:46 p.m. in India. So we're kind of in different time zones right now, as you're already going to March 13th. We're still in March 12th.
Yes.
So we're getting
to bed.
You're in the future. You're in the future. The guys are in the future. Tell me if something great happened today, because they're already in the future, you know? They're going for the next day.
Of course, I got it.
Yeah, it was really good. But of course, we are warming up to Bermuda. This is the last map of the day, and we gotta see, will Magic Squad open up some huge gaps here today?
They might. They definitely might. If they end up the day in a positive note, they're going to have an amazing advantage in the leadership. And of course, Fluxo also needs to end the day in a good note if they want to get that difference to be smaller.
Ha! This is a positive note. A negative note will be, oh. This is a negative note. Ha! This is a positive note. And you know why I'm bringing positive notes? Because we're clear to take off, so let's hit the skies! Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight R16D6 heading straight to Bermuda, this is your Captain Marcelo Ferrantini, and by my side, my co-pilot Isa invites you to loosen your seatbelts, fasten your boards, because it's time to drop, Isa!
Time to drop, and we are finally on the last map of the day. The pilot has been very fair all throughout the day, but right now he's made it especially hard for anyone who's going towards tThe. So let's see how the teams are going to be able to do that, because Garonidas is right now on mill. They are making their loot. Everyone's gonna make a very easy start of the map. And talking about easy, Black Dragon Vasco, that really did not do well today. They started off so good, and I even thought, oh my god, if Black Dragons Vasco started off well, they're going for an amazing day, for an incredible day. But actually,
They just trolled you.
yeah, it was kind of the other way around. They started off really well, and then in all of the rest of the matches, they ended up really badly. So let's see if they're going to be able to save their day with this last map, because right now they definitely need to. While we have some other teams doing really well. For example, we have Los Grandes that did so well, Loud did so well, Magic Squad did very well as well. So we are going to have a direct competition for the best team of the day with those three teams.
And now we see a team that is trying to get to a good day. Actually, God Unidas, they got an incredible booyah in Kalahari. 26 points for themselves. Another good result could put them once again on the top of the list, isn't it?
Yes, it can. While we see Laude, well, we did not see today any kind of confrontation between Laude and Black Dragons Vasco, which is one of the most surprising things for me, because we saw in the last round those two teams really going at it with each other, and right now they are very chill. They're like, you're my neighbor in all of the maps, and I don't want any fights with you because we are always together. So right now they are really making more of a friendship kind of neighborhood, because they do not choose to perform in these confrontations with each other. But of course, the safe zone is starting to shrink in only 1 minute, and we are so early on the map. Everyone's still making their loot, making their positions, and we have had no conflicts, Marcelo.
And we needed some time to breathe, Isa, because it's been a day full of action here. Shout out to Theo Thailand over here. Probably cheering for Loud. I'm sorry, I don't know how to read the Arabic alphabet. I'm sorry. We have Real over here with VM7 and performing better with VM7 in place of Antunes. And they finally found some points here today after VM7 came to play in place of Antunes. And they are taking the region of Hangar over there for them to hold on to itself. Let's see where the safe zone will be closing out to. This is a first safe zone. It's a really large safe zone that allows the teams to work on wherever they want, right, is it?
Yes, it does. And we see that Real really has a hard time in the beginning of matches. As we have pointed out today, they really do need to make a better way to start off their matches. And they are close to 0-0 Nation. Once again, those two teams together. 0-0 Nation that is making a specific slow loot and specific slow rotation for Bermuda. And we need to see where that's going to get them, because they had a great Purgatory. They had a good Kalahari. And if they close off the day, well, that's going to be really good news for them. But look, God Unidas is just about to encounter Liberty with their cars.
They are about to meet each other, and Liberty seems to be really spread, which can be either good or bad. Let's see what will happen between those squads as Junin tries to rotate. The car is being harmed over there, and Davi is trying to get the shots out onto the players of God Unidas. Junin goes to the floor. Drizzy gets the nice capa and puts him down. Now we see some shots out. Miguel will put Drizzy to sleep with a nice shot with the car. The grenade came in, dealt a lot of damage, and the car finished it off. Miguel will get the first blood on Drizzy. He goes down and back to the lobby. Miguel still fighting from the top down. They have the high ground advantage by the bridge, but Peck is trying to rotate. Marreta will not allow it. He puts him down, gets the kill. Peck will also go to the floor. Bad finish of the day for Liberty that goes down on the 12th position with no points. Is
Yes, and Black Dragons Vasco and Loud really did not choose to keep going with that friendship for the last map, because they are very close for each other, especially Kronos. Kronos is in an interesting position because he is as able to knock down one of Black Dragons Vasco players as he is probably to be knocked down by one of the Black Dragons Vasco players. So interesting position for Kronos. It's going to be a little hard for him to... Oh, Loud is going to flank Black Dragons Vasco.
They're trying to...
That's a very interesting position for Loud, because they first use the launcher towards Observatory, and then they use towards Bullseye to be able to keep a vision out of Black Dragons Vasco and protect Kronos.
They are now siding Kronos over there. They are now together with the Warlock, and it seems that Vasco is already retreating and leaving that fight zone in Bullseye. They don't want to engage right now, but once again, Loud and Vasco going at each other, and Loud coming after Vasco. This it seems to be really personal.
It does seem to be really personal, but I believe for sure that it's just because they have neighbor calls in all of the maps, and literally all of the maps they fall right on the side of each other. So I think it's only natural that they have those kind of conflicts. It is very normal to see that. Oh my God, what Lando did!
He hit the crane and he will go down.
But he kind of flied for like 5 seconds.
It kind of bugged off the match. My God.
I'm gonna do that on my ranked games.
Try to bug the map.
Yes, I'm gonna definitely try that on my ranked games. And Black Dragon's Vasco flew towards the plantation area, towards the river. So let's see how they're gonna be able to make. Now Leno is gonna try again. Now he got it.
Now he finally got the launch that he needed to go for plantation.
Black Dragon's Vasco is still very far away from the safe zone.
They will have to rush a lot, and that safe zone that left the usual plantation spot outside, Riverside outside. It might leave Peak outside, so it would be a troll safe zone to end the match. Once again, we see Los Grandes rotating. They are in Mars Electric. Mars Electric will probably as well be outside. It's already confirmed that it will be outside of the safe zone. And the map of Bermuda is being controlled by Los Grandes. They are the team with the most booyahs in this map. They've got 5 out of 10 of all those 10 booyahs that they got in the season in Bermuda. 50% of their booyahs are in Bermuda, Isa.
Yes, and of course they are coming for a slow rotation in this map. We have had only one squad wipe. The rest of the teams are all alive and are all positioning inside of the safe zone. Of course, we had a Bermuda match that was also very slow this day, and especially for this part of the championship. We usually have those slow matches because all teams are really taking it more seriously. The amount of competitiveness that we have, especially reaching the end of the first phase of the championship, only gets bigger and bigger. So we are getting used to see more and more competitiveness out of every team, and the level of the competitive scenario is really shown here in the LBFF. It's gonna get harder and harder, and all teams are going to have to work for their positions inside of the standings, for their improvement in the standings, and even of the ones that are already very high in the standings, they still will have to work very hard to keep it.
Let's see what will go on in this matchup. Los Grandes going for a long rotation, and they might be flanked by Loud. Look at that, Loud is coming quickly onto the players of Los Grandes. But it seems that Los Grandes is aware. Loud going for the car rotation once again, and Los Grandes now engaging into this fight. Loud gets really quickly to near where Los Grandes is, and now we see Lost setting the ice for the players to come up. One is taking the lead for Los Grandes, as we see Kronos trying to find the shots out, and he's being pressured by the safe zone. It seems that Loud don't want to engage. They are using the negative edge to rotate and flank the players from Los Grandes. Let's see if they will try to sandwich that squad, and the shots are coming out. Lost leads the charge. K1 with the grenade trying to take down the players from Los Grandes. He deals a little bit of damage onto those players, but now the rush goes on the hands of Lost. He tries to rotate, he uses the CR7, and now puts down his foot on the ground, and K1 will put Cebolinha to sleep. Lost gets Gus. Important start for Loud in this fight. They get 2 players down for Los Grandes. We see Juan trying to save Gus over there, and Fawn will be the one taking Noda down. Nice job by Fawn and the grenade from Juan. Lost will put Juan to the floor, and there's only Fawn to fight for Los Grandes. Trampling by Loud onto the players of Los Grandes. What a good day by Loud. What a good day.
Yes, and of course we are seeing that aggressiveness of Loud back that really brings me back so many memories. We have seen Loud doing so many great rushes, and here in the Brazilian Free Fire scenario, we know Loud as an aggressive team, so it is amazing to see them back in their good phase.
Now we see Moreira trying to take down the players from 0-0 Nation. That would be important for 0-0 Nation to remain alive still today, as we see Moreira going for the Woodpecker shots over there. tThe is trying to shoot some grenades to break the ice and to try to take 1-9 into this fight. As we see Fluxo and Unidas going at each other on the other side of the map. The safe zone is getting shorter as we reach 11.5 minutes of the map played. Still 10 teams alive as Vasco fights now Magic Squad. We see Tropa trying to take down Nicolas. Goes down with a nice shot by tThe with the Groza. tThe will confirm the kill on 1-9 and also on Nicolas. Now 0-0 Nation will not survive anymore. tThe once again getting his Squadra kill for the day. tThe that showed up sometimes last season on the kill leaders list. This season going for a more supportive position for Moreira and Mandela to go over. Now we see Ousado trying to rush with the Fluxo squad, trying to lead the rushes for Fluxo. They will have some trouble to go inside of the safe zone. Lots of teams by the edge of Sentosa. They are trying to go for the bridge. They know that Corinthians is trying to take control of that spot. That will be a really tough spot, a really good spot for this end game. Now we see Ousado going for the shot. Cias taking Juninho to the floor. Real goes down in the 9th position. Good result for 0-0 Nation and Liberty that left the game really early. Ousado leading the charge against his former team Corinthians. He's using the med kit over there. He knows that the safe zone will deal a lot of damage. And now Loud will take Tropa back to the lobby once again. 2 squad wipes for Loud in this matchup as they try to get the 3rd one onto Magic Squad or Vasco. Memgad will put Ousado to sleep. Nice job by Memgad holding on the rush from the players of Fluxo. However, the safe zone closed to the other side of the spread. Only an inch of sand still in the safe zone, is it?
Yes, and Loud has the ultimate best position inside of the safe zone. Of course, they already have 7 elimination, and this day could end really well for Loud, while Black Dragons Vasco is eliminated. So ending the day not on such a good note, but Magic Squad is still alive. Fluxo, Corinthians also in an interesting position, but Loud really is going to have to do a lot of work to be able to keep their good position.
We see Corinthians still trying to hold on against Fluxo, but they will have to now to go through Fluxo to get to the lane and start their rotation to inside of the safe zone. Japa Biquera goes down and Hazur gets the kill. Important moment for Corinthians, now leaving Fluxo with only Cias and Fact to fight. Hazur is trying to lead the charge. Nice shots by Fact, trying to take down the player from Corinthians. But now the rotation is forced and Metagaming comes over, takes Cauã, takes Gelo, takes Vitinho XP, takes Hazur, and now there's only Memgad to fight for Corinthians as he tries to use the board and he will not be able to. He was too slow to survive as Fak goes down, Cias goes down, Fluxo get out in the 3rd position. There are only 2 teams to fight. It's Loud on one side of the river and Metagaming on the other one. It's an old Wild West confrontation, a standoff between those 2 teams that want the Booyah right now. It seems that Metagaming has the best positioning because their side has an upper ground, Isa.
Yes, and of course the safe zone dictates which team is going to have the advantage, and they had Metagaming have the best position, so it's going to be very tough for Loud to be able to get this Booyah. I would even go as far as to say impossible.
This is Reversa Zika. This is Zika Reversa. This is Zika Reversa, I know that. Now we see Metagaming trying to find the players from Loud. They break the ice and they found it. Oh, there it is. They found the players from Loud over there. They're trying to loot a little bit on the casket over there. But where are the others?
They barely have the vision of the other players because it's so far away.
Where are the other players from Loud? Let's check this out because the safe zone will force them to go over. They will force them to go to the seas.
They needed some wings right there to kind of fly over to the next side.
Now the shot is out and Metagaming is dealing a lot of damage onto Loud. Cauã is leading the charge for Loud, trying to open up the space. Pão will get Kronos to the floor. He gets the kill. He gets Cauã as well. Now there is only Noda and Lost. Loud will be outside of the safe zone. Lost gets Pão to the floor, but he goes down. There's only Noda, and everyone is targeting Noda. He's using the gas, but the gas is dealing a lot of damage, and Cauã will get the kill. So it's a booyah! Loud tried its best. They had an incredible game, a lot of kills, but it was really impossible to cross the river with a whole squad aiming at them, Isa.
Yes, and Metagaming once again getting an amazing Bermuda match. In the first Bermuda, they almost got the Booyah, and right now they just did what they failed to do in the last map. So Metagaming finishing off the day in the best way possible. Finally, the Metagaming that we know back. We see them having a lot of eliminations, a good Booyah, and they're going to close off the day in the best way possible. But Lounge really stand out today, and I think it's important to highlight that.
Finally, we've seen that aggressive Loud that we got used to seeing on the past seasons of LBFF. The Booyah's confirmation here, no double Booyahs here today, but still a really spread points punctuation throughout the teams. Metagaming with 21 points, Loud with 16, Isa.
Yes, and we see Fluxo once again for a good match with 11 points. Corinthians also 11 points. 9 for Magic Squad and Tropa. Right now, Fluxo was really able to recover their game. They made 4 very good matches. Lounge, as I've said before, I'm done. They stand it out a lot today. But we're going to see the second half of the points in this match just in a few seconds. So Killity being the kill leader for this match, and even though Tropa did not do so well, he still was able to get 5 eliminations.
Getting 5 kills for himself. He is a really good grenadier, a really good player for this Tropa squad, and some good days from Loud, Magic Squad once again. God Unidas with an average day. Some of those teams that needed more points here having a good day. Liberty not closing the day as they wanted to do, but still a good first 4 maps for themselves, so important in the run against relegation. And this day didn't change that much as we expected the rankings.
I think that it changed in the sense that Loud is really has built an advantage towards Tropa, and they are getting closer and closer to Team Liquid and God Unidas. So it's going to be very important that Loud keeps this performance throughout the rest of the week, because if they do so, they're going to have a real shot to get to the first half of the standings, of course. And we also had a lot of teams that needed to punctuate a little better, but the fight for the access group just got more and more competitive, and we still did not see any of those teams really standing out enough to get out of that range of punctuation.
They will need to do a lot better if they want to get Tropa involved into that fight, and Tropa needs to be involved if those teams want to leave the access group zone, because Tropa is the first team outside of the access group zone.
Yes, that is true. So I am looking forward to seeing if the MVP rankings have changed. I want to see how many kills Bobs was able to get, and he started off the day with 90. So let's see how many kills Bobs had soon, how many kills Sia's had. Sia started with 99.
It was 109, 106, I believe.
No.
He started the day with more than 100 kills.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. He got it more than 100 last week. But we got the kill leaders list, 113 for Sias right now, 100 for Bobs. He got 100 points. Iago didn't play here today. Gus getting to 96 kills. And Vitinho going for 92 here today, is it?
And you know what makes me more interested is that Iago needs 15 kills to get to Sias. And he, on the last round that he played, he made 22 eliminations. So, 22 or 20 eliminations.
22 would be a record. The
Yes,
MVP
yes.
of the day is Kawan with 12 kills.
That's interesting.
But look at the damage that Kawan got. 10 assists, 12 kills and 10 assists.
Yes, that's a very important performance, especially because of the assists. We know how important it is to be able to help your team when knocking down a player. And of course, that is only a reflection of how good Loud went today.
Indeed it is, and the best team of the day is Loud. Despite not having Booyahs, 33 points in Purgatory, 22 in Kalahari, 24 in Bermuda. Really balanced amidst the 3 maps. And Kawan with 12 kills and 10 assists puts him in an incredible amount of participation in kills for the team. If you get the sum 22, 28, 33, he participated in 22, 2/3 of the kills of the team he was participating. And look at the triple tie in the individual kills list. Kawan, Gus, and Kiledi with 12 kills here today as the kill leaders.
Yes, and of course, Magic Squad doing so well. They have a posture of leadership that we don't always see. Magic Squad
They're
never
imposing.
seems...
They're imposing.
Yes, they never seem to have a bad day. So Magic Squad always on the list of the best teams of the day. Even though they are already on the leadership, they're able to keep it very strongly.
And we gotta check out the standings to know how the day finished off here today. Magic Squad with now a 53-point difference to Fluxo, still opening up a little bit of the gap, but not as much as we expected on the beginning of the day. Metagaming taking the 9th position from Guaranidas with the Booyah, and Real taking the 15th position from Liberty in the last map. However, Liberty is still 8 points behind 0-0 Nation, only getting to start to fight once again to leave the Access Group zone.
Yes, the Access Group, as we have said, is very competitive. 0-0 Nation, Real, and Liberty really need to stand up. At least one of those teams need to stand up, and it is time to really wake up inside of the championship. Otherwise, they won't have time to do it. So this is the final view of the standings for today. But of course, tomorrow we are going to see Group A playing, so it's gonna really rock the standings, and I'm looking forward to seeing that.
It will change a lot, and if you guys want to know who will be playing here tomorrow, at what time we'll be here broadcasting it to you, whatever you need to learn about LBFF, follow us at FF Esports BR in every social media. Follow me at Marcelo Ferrantini. Follow Isa at Isa13X. And of course, once again, great pleasure to be by your side, my brother.
Amazing
My
to
sister.
be here. So I'm so glad that we were able to keep up with this amazing day. I loved today. I loved all of the matches. So I'm looking forward for tomorrow, and I'll catch you there.
We will catch you there tomorrow. I hope that you guys will be here tomorrow at 1 p.m. Brazilian time, of course, to bring you guys more 6-map of great Free Fire action. And I'll see you here tomorrow. Bye-bye, because it's time to draw, Pasia!